are changing, my pace quickens now.
Rule Britannia!
No longer safe, indoors we wait. Only numbers save us now. Islam rules, cause the government fools just tools, breaking the rules.
Communism is king.
Englishman doing what he can, work around the clock to make his living. A family he can't give him, he can't give out. He's a slave, a guy in an entrapped soul. No goal other than look out the window and back to work. I guess since you put yourself first. Well, tonight sleep safe first. Patriots on guard, oh yeah, yeah. Patriots on guard, so you can sleep now. Yeah, 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 oh.
Commander Worf, don't be a cunt.
Yeah, 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 oh.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball!
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's
for people. For what?
But it's with my oh, yeah, it's with my
Shut the fuck up!
We stand and we fight and it's alright, cause we never back down. We face the day without a frown. We take this piss and we enjoy this time. To make us smile. I bet it's been a while since you laughed. I bet it's quite a while since you put yourself first. Well, tonight sleep safe. Patriots on guard, oh yeah, yeah. Patriots on guard, so you can sleep now. Yeah, 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 oh. So you can sleep now. Yeah, it's quite a while since you put yourself first. Well, tonight sleep safe first. Patriots on guard, oh yeah. Patriots on guard, so you can sleep now. Yeah, 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 oh. Sleep now, you got your back now.
Welcome back, everybody. This is another Thursday. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. So today's show is Tom's Generation X, where I'm joined by normally good, cool, and creative people. But unfortunately, today I'm with Vindicator. I'm just kidding, Vin. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, good. So thanks for coming on today. So yeah, just for structure for the future, guys, when we do this on a Thursday or shows when it's Tom's Generation X, when it's got that label, that generally means I'm going to try and get on with a creator or do an interview or something like that. But also, if we can have a slot open at the end where people can join in if they want to. It's unfortunate, Vin. I think the people we had waiting for us at the beginning of the last stream, I think we've lost them somehow. Hopefully they'll make it their way to us. But yeah, I somehow managed to find it. But I noticed I'm just noticed I'm coming across quite ropey on the stream. So if that doesn't clear up, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, just a low bit rate. By the looks of it. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with these cameras. Anyway, mate. So I've got a few things to go for. I've circled a few of your posts on X because basically we do tend to notice a lot of the same stuff on X.
Yeah.
And it does make me giggle. But you know, there's other stuff on my mind this morning as well. We talked about a few things. And I suppose I want to start the foundations of where we're at in the movement. And I feel this is where I'm at. I feel like when I started doing this, you could say I was younger, I was more naive, but the fact of it was, I was 41 years old. I was a grown man. And I was applauded for my authenticity and for my honesty, which I got because it was in rare supply and because, it took a lot to do. And I've noticed there's a pattern in people, generally speaking, they respect authenticity. And obviously, when you start working for certain people, you're representing more than just yourself. So you've got to sometimes think about what you say. Same as if you're working for a company or whatever. But I find myself, like days like today, trapped, thinking, I know this is wrong. And the old me would have said, fuck the consequences. I'm going to say this is wrong. but I also know I'm pissing in the wind if I try, because you can't blow away a hurricane. But I feel like the right has very much been privatized. And very much, if you look at America, the way it's gone over there is like the Daily Wire has got like Ben Shapiro, had Jordan Peterson, had a lot of people under one roof, which caused a bit of a falling out with Stephen Crowder and that type. But nevertheless, they form their sort of groups, and you've got to expect that kind of, what's the word?
Click.
Yeah, and also capitalism. So yeah, and click especially. So you do sort of expect that to happen. But in a way, they also sort of privatize the right in their own way. Same thing's kind of happening over here. Is the narrative is becoming sacred, which is something that we didn't used to stand for.
Can I just say something? Right.
Yeah, please.
I think the issue that we've got is that we've got integrity, and what we are in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, do we call certain people out and sacrifice subscribers and not and diminish our audience so our message doesn't get out there, or do we turn a blind eye to it and carry on and just try and push to get the
Exactly.
The thing is, we're in conflict with our own personalities, mate, because we're not that sort of people. We can't just let things slide, if you know what I mean.
The thing of it is, it's not about wanting to pile on anybody who's having a bad time, anything like that. It's about trying to look out for people. It's about trying to, like, if someone tries to bully me, I'm going to try and make sure that they don't do that, so they can't do it to the next person.
Unfortunately, we've hit upon the old human tribalism thing where people won't listen to facts and evidence. They're just set in their ways about certain people. They don't want to listen. And so at the end of the day, the only thing you do is just end up harming your own ability to reach people.
That's right. And the sad thing is that what has really saddened me is that behind, let's say, closed doors, or figuratively, digital closed doors, people will actually agree with me about a lot of my opinions. And then in public, it's a totally different thing. I just look at it as a little bit of political cowardice from the right, because if we continue to be afraid to, if I start being afraid to say I think you're wrong, Ben, about something, then our friendship's bullshit and our working relationships bullshit. You know?
Yeah, we're no better than the far left in that respect.
Yeah, exactly. Beyond scrutiny, beyond reprimand when wrong. You know, I remember the days when people at the very, very top of the movement, if they made mistakes, they'd have to come out with their paw pot the next day and apologize, because that's the way it was. We took responsibility.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering. That wasn't that long ago.
I think what's changed is over the last few years. I mean, we've more or less been on YouTube since the beginning, haven't we, mate? Since the very beginning of YouTube. And we've seen it evolve over time. And with the advent of the partner program, where we added the money element to YouTube, that kind of integrity went away, because it went away because people favored profit over actual integrity. That's what happened. And it was one time, the great debate community, everybody was calling everybody else out. It was just debate. And if you effed up, you were going to get called out for it. It didn't matter if you were a little channel, big channel, whatever, you were going to get called out for it.
And that's how I feel.
That's gone. That's gone now.
I feel like that with our channels now. It's like, you're not above scrutiny because of the size of your channel. I'm not above scrutiny because of the size of my channel. But the size of my channel will determine at a certain point when I become above scrutiny.
Yeah, it's a hierarchy. It's like a hierarchy within it, like a social class, isn't it? Really?
As someone once said to me, when they said, "Well, provide me with proof then," and I said, "Okay, here is proof of exactly the thing that you've asked for," and they went, "Oh, okay, fair enough, but I like that creator anyway, so I'm not gonna let it affect anything."
I think all I can say without saying too much is there's a lot of people out there that should thank the lucky stars that this isn't 2010 YouTube, and it's 2025 YouTube because it was 2010 YouTube, they would be absolutely pwned. There'd be pwnage videos made about them, mocking them, making fun of them, just absolutely raking them over the coals.
Yeah. And I think that's it for me. It's like, and again, you know, I said this to you this morning. It's a worldwide thing. You know, I'm talking about a worldwide audience as well. It's not just the usual suspects. There's a whole thing going on. Like I said, in America, you know, they're doing the same sort of thing. And what people need to realize is when you've got a machine that's sitting on top of activism and on top of a genuine desire to get stuff done, you've got all the energy at the bottom to get that stuff done, right? But the machine on top, if it's designed to siphon money upwards, which most capitalist machines are, then it's siphoning money upwards in one direction, which means away from all the other creators. And it's siphoned up in one direction, which then depends solely on the people it's siphoned up to having the country's best interests at heart, and then being right on top of that.
I tell you what, let's not sugarcoat this, right, Tom? There are some big YouTube content creators that just put out absolute fucking slop, and they don't deserve the revenue, the subscribers that they're getting. They really don't. They don't offer anything to the movement other than them making revenue from it. They're just basically they're only saying the things that other people are saying. There's nothing great or fantastic about the content. In fact, if you really look at the content, it's absolutely, pardon my French, but shite.
Yeah, and you can actually see that a lot of them are desperate. You can see how desperate they are looking for content. I mean, that's why they keep taking ours so often.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing people need to realize is that personalizes it. When it's your ideas they're taking away, that is very frustrating because creative ideas don't just, you know.
And this is what we were talked about in all live streams. Like you said, they act as gatekeepers. They deliberately keep the smaller channels down because they're content farms. They can farm the content from those smaller channels and they can pass it off as their own ideas. And this is what's happening on a large scale on lots of these big channels.
When you spent weeks on an idea or whatever else, and you still execute it better than other people can, by the way, because you actually know. I'll give you an example of the type of technical knowledge missing in this movement, which is not even technical knowledge, right? One of these people with a big channel, and again, there's nothing wrong with people with big channels. A lot of them are. Me and you know that I watch a lot of them, but specific people I'm talking about, and one of them keeps telling me to get you know, the arm things with the microphone for the podcast, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, and they have it so it sits in front of the camera and looks cool. Yeah, that's what they think it's for. Honestly, that's what they seem to think it's for. And I've tried to say to them, I'm on this little movable desk. So the idea of having a microphone on here, do you understand what that microphone's for? It's a boom mic, which means the whole idea is it gets sound from above without getting the air hitting it and everything else, but also without getting any vibrations from the ground, because it's usually on a big desk or some place where there's not getting constant bangs and wobbles. So what would be the fucking point of me having a boom mic on this thing? It's absolutely beyond them, mate. Absolutely beyond them.
I've got one, Tom, and you've never seen it in any of my shots because that's exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right. It's a boom mic. It has a specific purpose. They don't know that. They think it's just a standard podcast mic.
Going off tangent, mate, you know what really annoys me? They're constantly fiddling with it. They're constantly fiddling with the mics near their mouths. And it's like, just leave it alone.
Yes.
Pisses me off.
That's another. Oh God, listen to me. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but that's another sign of inexperience and amateur hour. If you're playing with a microphone all the time, like I'm trying different microphones today. You haven't even seen me look down at it. If you are used to the mics, if you're used to the cameras, then I'm a bit rusty in terms of addressing the right ones at times. But you're used to them. If you're playing with the equipment all the time, it means it's external to you. It means you've not really professionalized your use of it yet. You know, it should become part of you. If you're playing with a microphone, playing with stuff like that, you're not really.
I'll give you an example. I watched Tim Pool a lot. Tim Pool
Stefan.
Can't stop fiddling with his mic, his boom mic. He's constantly pulling it, moving it, pulling it.
Who's that?
Tim Pool. Have you seen Tim Pool, American podcaster?
No. Oh, yes.
Yeah, one guy with a beanie hat on. constantly fiddling with his microphone.
Yeah.
And they all do it.
Yeah.
They all do it. It's like, just
Very
leave them
frustrating.
alone.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing with the mics is that, and that's the point. Exactly what we were talking about, the boom mic. Leave it on the table, and don't touch the goddamn thing, because that's the whole point. It's supposed to be getting a condenser mic. It's supposed to be getting a good sound without the bass coming through the table or anything else. So again, they defeat the object of having the really expensive mic they just paid out for by sitting 2 inches. But this is what happens when you buy your subscribers, when you buy your watches, and this is the other thing, you see. So they're taking ideas from people that we've genuinely had to think up and create. That's not always
And
easy.
like you said, Tom, right? They'll take our ideas, which we like really perfected and polished, and then do a really poor job of presenting them themselves.
That's right. That's the bit that hurts the most. It's like, if someone took an idea of mine and then improved it and made it better than I ever could, how could I argue that? What could
But they
I
don't.
say?
That's make it worse.
Yeah, it's insulting, because I don't have anything like the resources they do, and they don't do it as well as I would have done. And it's like, oh, come on! If you're going to steal an idea, steal an idea,
But the thing
So,
is, there's actually another symptom to that, because that's like them standing in the way of you being recognised for your talent, because they're taking that away from them. Because it's a big YouTuber that's done it, it makes you look like you've copied them, when in reality it's the other way around.
Exactly, and they know this, and because it's bad etiquette to punch down, when you go and complain to them that they've stolen your stuff, they don't have to even acknowledge you.
Yeah.
So there's an etiquette form there as well that protects them. And I just feel that, if nothing else, I'm not going to change people's minds. I've seen that. I'm not going to change people's minds. There's at least 230,000 people willing to, upvote some of the most disgusting behaviour I've seen. So that's fair enough. But I do think people should be aware. I do think they should be aware. I do think they should use their common sense, because I don't want to be accused one day, as I said to you this morning, of, oh, you knew about this and you didn't say nothing and you let us get ripped off. I don't want that on my shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is say, point them in the direction. Look at these. We don't entirely trust these people, and they do what they want with it. But you can't even do that. You can't even do that nowadays.
That's right. That's right. So, and I don't want, and again, it comes across sort of passive aggressive, but genuinely, I only wish the best for people. And I'll tell you something as well, like people abroad and stuff like that. I've got no problem with someone being a patriot abroad.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with someone. We've had patriots in the movement for years that are abroad. I've got no problem with someone making money. What we've got a problem with is someone that can't just fuck off and stay fucked off. They have to keep making themselves relevant, but telling stories of woe when actually they've got it good.
I think we've got to make it clear as well, right? Everybody's got a right to do with their money what they want to do. They can donate whoever they want to. All we're doing is like, we're doing like, remember what used to be on? There used to be a program on BBC called Watchdog that used to alert you to companies that were dodgy.
Yeah,
that's kind of what we're doing.
And it's not even that I'm saying, do you know what? I've said this to people in the past. It's not even that I'm saying, because of what I'm saying, don't give your money. It's like, no, still, if you're happy with where it's going, then by all means keep doing it. Like this, I'm not, as long as you know, as long as you're aware, then it's fully your choice. That it's what my concern is when people aren't fully aware of what's happening. That's all,
I think that's the thing. I think as long as it's an informed choice they're making, they know exactly what these people are like, then fair enough. You carry on doing it.
Yeah, if people are fully aware and they're quite happy with that, and they're quite happy to give their money over, then fine. That's a transaction that everyone's happy with. Fine. I may not necessarily agree with all the principles of it, but it's nothing to do with me at the end of the day. So that's fine. It's not just the money. It's not just the money side of things, because people tend to tie a lot of jealousy to that, and they don't realize in some ways the cost of that money, the paranoia, the need to keep coming back and being recognized. If your life was that good, you wouldn't need that. So the cost of having money sometimes, the cost of having certain things sometimes is more than the money itself. Because I would like to think I would like to think that if I was in a position that other people were in, that I'd either be all into this, putting the money all into it, or I'd be all out of it, enjoying my life. I wouldn't be half in, half out, feeling insecure. Just wouldn't.
I think it's the only thing they've got left. They've lost everything. It's the only thing they've got left. So all they can do is try and stay relevant, like you were saying earlier with these vlogs that are doing that sometimes aren't popular because they've changed the content.
Yeah. I think, Mark, rather than try and stay relevant, right, don't try and stay relevant, be relevant. Like, if it means that much to you, fine. Then face your fears. Come back. Face the things that you're worried about. Then you're relevant by choice. And whilst that you don't do that, that's also fine. Like, I won't come down on anybody for that choice, but you're also irrelevant by choice.
But let's also cut to the chase. We all know that times are hard, and people have only got so much money they can spend on channels or donate to channels. So that the fact of the matter is, there's a real world consequence for us as well. That people just won't donate to us. They won't donate to people that are actually going out there, boots on the ground, and doing stuff. Maybe could affect some kind of change because they're planning to do an operation this side of the channel. They're going to go down to Dover and cover the beach landings and stuff like that. But they can't go there because they don't have the resources to do it. Now, that would be an important thing to happen. But because people are giving the money to these people that just produce nothing, just drivel, then that doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. So when you've got a movement that's actively privatized and money's only going in one direction, it's like I say, the thing that's using that money, if it's getting something done, great, but it still means there's a bunch of other causes and stuff that are going to have the blood sucked away from them. There's no fair playing field anymore. So and so people might think this is a very self-centered video, but the fact of it is I do know people that have not been able to do the great work that they were doing because money's dried up for them. I do know people that were doing fantastic work and have had to discontinue because they are not on the in crowd, for instance. People that have had to capitulate with other people, other creators, in order to be allowed to do their great work. You know?
I think we've got to dispel this myth as well that just because you've got adverts on your videos, you're making loads of money. I don't make anything. I don't make anything from my YouTube adverts. And it's not what people were saying the other day. If I didn't put adverts on, YouTube would do it anyway. When you get to a certain size with your channel and your videos start getting lots of views, YouTube just put ads on there anyway.
Yeah, YouTube. Even when I was monetized on YouTube said we reserve the right to put adverts on your channel at any time of our choosing, regardless of what you choose. Also, with all that, I mean, there was a channel the other day, and they showed, I think it was a channel that got 358,000 views, made something like $360 for that, which is not a lot at all.
No.
I said this to people when you became monetized. I said it on my channel. I said, don't think that guy has now got enough money to get everywhere. I said, because all he's done is he's been allowed on the ladder, but he's not going to have any money coming to him.
What people don't realize is as well, I mean, I've got to make it clear to people that you don't get a fair share if you've got a small channel. It's divided up on how big your actual reach is, not on the fact that you've got past 1,000 subscribers. What else was I going to say about? I was going to say something else about the monetization. That they take a third of everything, so they take a third of the stuff they're giving you as well. So that's not a lot. So I think, I'll be honest, I think I made about £3. I think I made about £3. That was it.
So when, I don't know if it's changed now, Vin, but when I was doing it, you had to have £60 in. You had to have earned £60 via super chats or ads or both, or above for them to pay it out. Otherwise, they kept hold of it. So they stole £58 of my money. And then once you did go over the £60, it would take anything between 4 to 6 weeks for them to pay it out. So people would try and give you money to get to a so-and-so event, not realizing you'd have no chance. And then I found out Patreon takes 10%. PayPal took 0, and then not only did YouTube takes their third immediately, makes you wait all that time. Plus, I think they take extra if it goes through an Apple store or something like that. And yet, so YouTube takes their third just like that. You wait all that extra time, and people aren't necessarily aware of that. They don't realize a third of their money goes straight to YouTube.
Yeah, that was the issue. You know, when I was coming down to Southampton and I was like asking people to donate, they were donating through YouTube, and I said, "Don't donate through YouTube," because what they do is they take a third of it, and that's it. It's gone, and I won't get that money in time. That's why I dropped the PayPal.
I always like to let people know anyway, mate, as well,
Yeah.
because some people are incensed when they find out that a third of it's going to YouTube.
And also, let's face it, right? The work we do, given the climate we live in this country, it's woke, it's far left, everything's left, institutions far left. We haven't got a hope in hell's chance of getting a job in this country, knowing the work we do now. Not a chance. Zero.
I've been branded far right. I've been branded far right by newspapers, by organizations. I have done nothing to earn that.
Yeah.
It's all guilt by association. It's guilt by narrative. There is no far right action that I've ever been involved with. No far right group. I don't even have a fucking criminal record. I've never even had a slap on the wrist. I've done nothing in my life I've been part of no far right group in my life. But because it started because a photographer ran up and just took a random picture of me and then branded me far right. That's how that started. Just a random picture taken for somebody else's newspaper column. That's how it started. That's how it, you know.
What happened with me was the lefties. They took a photo. They found out my Facebook page. They found everything out about my life, and because they pass information around in WhatsApp groups, and these people have influence. Some of them have influence. They can stop you getting jobs, because what they do is they will contact your employer and say, "We're going to do a protest every day outside your place of work until you get rid of this person." And that's how they do it.
Yeah, and sometimes just the irritation of a phone call about you is enough to say this is too much trouble.
Or worse than that, you get recognised by some lefty at your place of work. They go and have a word with, "Oh, this guy's far right," he's in that, and then you just get the sack.
Yeah, no, and that's got more realistic chance of happening now than ever.
Yeah.
So I do want to move on, but I just before I do move on, what do you have any advice for me, or even for us, for yourself? Like, as I said, when I started this, and admittedly I didn't know so much, so perhaps that's why it was easier just to let my thoughts come out, because I didn't know so much about behind the scenes, if you like. But I was all about authenticity and honesty, and I feel like that's compromised at the moment. How do I navigate that? Because the whole point is what I do is about being honest. Now, I do realize there's a difference between being honest for the sake of being honest and then being honest for the sake of doing good. So I won't just say things.
I'll be honest with you, right? With me, I've put it down to priority. What's the priority? Is the priority taking the country back? And is it worth me keeping my platform and my audience, or calling out con artists and charlatans within the movement? That I can bide my time with that. I'll just tell myself I'm going to come back and deal with that at a later date once we've got the country back. These people will be held to account.
Sensible.
Going forward, we're taking the country back. That's the priority. That's the mission. That's everything. I think that's how I deal with it anyway.
That is sensible. And I want you to briefly discuss if we need to bring video evidence up, we can. But obviously, you've seen Danny Tomo, and I just want to discuss this honestly, without without bias. Danny Tomo on one side of Danny Tomo and Nick Tenconi, both been in France, both doing their thing. And I was quite critical of it at first, because I'd been down pet level, I'd done certain things, and they seemed to be making the same mistakes, thinking that they could, in Nick Tenconi's words, confront people, confront the migrants, which I tried to do a video explaining how dangerous that is, how illegal that is.
It's a bad idea. Very bad idea.
Yeah, and what I was trying to say in my video wasn't to slam Nick Tenconi or to slam Danny Tomo, because I don't know what people they got with them. They might have a bunch of experts with them. Yeah, it's not known. So it wasn't to shit on them at all. it was to say that Tenkoni's sending out sometimes the wrong messages, which we'll come to in a second. But also you will also get copycats because people might rightly want to defend their own coast. So
It's
they
already
might
happened. It's already
right.
happened.
Exactly. So, when me, Nobby, and Active were down there, we sort of we did the same thing. So, as a result, what I was worried about is that people put themselves in harm's way because a lot of time they don't realize these people are armed and trained, and also not understanding the rules, and which is you cannot go and confront these migrants. You can't do that. What they could do is they could act as amazing surveillance, and they could report things, and they could report people aiding and abetting these people. They could do a lot to protect our coasts. So the two things I think are separate because I don't know what level of expertise Tenkoni and
Well,
Tomo got over with them.
I don't know if you've watched that. Have you watched the undercover journalist that went into the migrant camps and uncovered and actually proved that the actual collaboration between because there are people trafficking gangs. People have claimed there aren't, but there are.
Oh yeah, definitely are.
They've actually proven that there's actually a link and a coalition between the police and the people traffickers over there. So we've had certain individuals saying that the gangs don't exist. They do exist. I've got to draw some doubts on some activity that's taking place as well regarding the dinghies because they don't bury the motors with the dinghies. They bring them separately for good reason because the boats are disposable, the motors are not. So yeah. The motors, they're not disposable. They won't bury the motors with the dinghies because in case they get sand in them, stuff like that. What they'll do is they'll pull up with a 4x4 with a motor on the back and they'll carry the motor down to the water with the dinghy already inflated. They'll attach the motor and off they'll go, sort of thing. So they're not disposable like they were making out. Like certain engines have been destroyed. Yeah.
Doing video isn't the same as being able to do a live stream. Everything's live. So let's say I find a boat and something happens and then we go, do you know what? We should have filmed that. Sometimes what you might do is you might refilm yourself discovering it. It won't look the same as it did the first time, but you might refilm it. So when I say reenactment, that's all I mean is that sometimes you will reshoot things, especially doing anything documentary style. So I've done it with Tommy where we see him walking into something for the first time, but it's actually the second time because the first tape didn't come out. You know, that kind of thing. That's normal for making videos.
What I suspect is that maybe they've come across already sabotaged boats. Maybe that's what they've come across. Decided to dramatize things and take credit for things that they've not necessarily done themselves.
Yeah, and so that's what the bit I wasn't sure about. So then I was like, I've been trying to think about well, are they doing good? And I do think, again, I know the French have been threatened by a lot of the migrants and that. I'm not saying the French aren't without blame, but ultimately they're irrelevant because we wouldn't need to be making deals with them if we were dealing with the problems, as in not letting these people even get close. If everybody was dealing with the problems, basically. So it's almost like irrelevancy. But I feel like okay, they've got to the French side. That makes sense because we can't actually stop them getting in once they're on our shores. I get it, but Tenkoni that keeps talking about no violence, keeps talking about not wanting things to get out of hand, then talks about crusades and stuff like that, and is then going on the beaches. I mean, this is a guy that's in a suit all the time and really holding himself to higher standards. Is then going on the beach saying we're confronting migrants, sending a message to other people. What does that mean, confronting?
I'll be honest with you, right? I think Nick Tenkoni's got to decide what he is. Is he a politician or is he an activist? He's got to make a decision on that because he can't be both.
When you're building
he can't be both to be taken seriously as a politician if you're an activist.
Yeah. And I do realise when you're building a new party, there is an element of both, but he's got to the point now where he needs to step apart from that. He needs to have some other, he needs to have somebody else doing that stuff.
Exactly. He could have another branch of UKIP that deal with that side of things while he deals with the political side of things.
He's great with the talking. If he keeps doing the talking and the other things that he's doing, great. But when you're talking about confronting migrants and everything else, one, again, for copycats and people like that, they won't know the danger they're in. Yeah, again, so people understand.
In all honesty, though, I've got to state Nick Tenconi. He does come out with statements and say, "Don't do this." He does actually say that. He doesn't say, "Don't do this because this is dangerous." These people are. I've seen the statements he's made. It's the other group.
Okay,
that
I
doesn't
haven't seen
tend to do
those.
that.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen those, so that does actually make it a bit better.
Yeah.
And with Danny Tomo, the sort of conclusion I came to with Danny Tomo was, do you know what? It doesn't matter that his reasons for doing it, because let me put it this way: there's always going to be some personal gain and agenda with people like that. However, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, as long as he is trying to do something good over there, as long as he's trying to do something good with it. So I'm not necessarily against it. It depends what he does with it. If he claims a false victory, then I'll be very disappointed. But if he does something with it and reveals something, well, that's different.
I think it's good that they're raising awareness to it, but they need to be careful with the people they're encouraging to do it, because yeah.
Sorry, again.
Yeah, totally agree. It's about responsibility. Sometimes they don't realize how much influence they actually have. And with that influence, I'm going to do the Spider-Man speech now. With great power comes great responsibility. But it's true. It's true. They don't realize how much influence they have over people.
I had a rude awakening one day, because people were starting to tell me when my channel got to a certain size about how I had responsibility and all this other stuff, and I was like, horse shit, and I really rebelled against it because I thought it was nonsense. And then some things I said to people filtered back to me, and I can't exactly explain the details to you, but I don't need to. People were repeating stuff that I'd said as their own opinion, and I'd seen it myself by chance one day, and I was like, holy shit. And I had an influence on these people, and it made me realize I do have a responsibility after all, and that was quite frightening, because you thought, it made me think, how many times have I said something off the cuff that I might not have been totally serious about, or so yeah, when you've got someone like Nick Tenconi, who is a cool cat, he is a real cool dude, and a lot of people like Danny Tomo, he's got a big strong following. People are going to want to do the same thing, and it's purely that they understand where the limits are, because people like Danny Tomo and that, they can look after themselves,
Yeah. Well, thing is, not necessarily, because they've got knives. Did you see the video the other day where they were in the car and the actual people trafficker came up and tried to stab them in the car with a knife? And the thing is, right, it was going after the tires. It was deliberately going after the tires to stop the car, and they could have been dragged out. That could have been a very potentially dangerous situation. That.
Yeah. See, I don't. Right. There are certain situations I look at as bravery, and some that are just stupidity. And I don't, again, when you can be the eyes and ears and you can report. If they don't do anything with your report, or they do the wrong thing with your report, film it, expose it. That's what we're for. That's what activists are for.
The thing is, the whole thing with the uniform as well, you really want to blend in. You don't want to stand out. You want to blend in. And going there with black uniforms, pretty much like mine, coincidentally, just like mine.
Yeah, just very, very much like yours.
Yeah. Doing that and standing out is just painting a target on yourself, really.
It's like a copper told me once when I tried to make my electric scooter more legal by putting indicators on it and everything else. He said, I appreciate what you've tried to do. He said, but by putting all this extra stuff on it, you've actually made it more like a motorbike, which means there's more restrictions. He said you would have been better off doing nothing to it. Yeah. And it's the same sort of thing. It's like, yeah, we get the uniforms cool, but it is about looking cool. Because you don't have any actual authority, so there's no reason to be wearing a uniform. Blend in, like you said, and also when then anybody confronts you about what you're doing, you are just wearing casual. You're not a group of far right thugs, which is exactly how you're making yourself look.
If I was going to give any advice to these people about how to go about these things, I would say make sure that you do it over 2 weeks and just slowly integrate yourself into the local population. Do it slowly, so people gradually just see you knocking about. You're not just suddenly there. Do you know what I mean? Like you just casually, you can just
We
be
had to
walking
go.
around in a local bar, stuff like that. Before they know you're on holiday, you're trying to ingratiate yourself with the local community and to prove that you
And
just.
that's the other side of it. Understanding seaside towns is hard enough in Britain. So let alone in France, a place we don't know. But as somebody on here understood the other day, and I said about seaside places and that, I think it was Steve, and he understood the complete difference in those places to some of the other places that you can go to. It's just a very different mindset, and you really do need to tread carefully when going into those places. If you go in like a bull in a china shop, it's not going to work out for you.
You know what? It's like little tiny villages in Derbyshire, right? Because you can go to the big towns, nobody will notice you. The minute you set foot in a little village, everybody knows who you are. They'll spot you instantly, and there'll be a little network. There'll be a little network of phone calls going around saying, "Do you know who this person is?" Straight away.
That's it. Before you've even done your first live stream, you go there in the morning. By that evening, everybody in that entire area will know you're there. Everybody. And that's just how these places work. And I've seen people arrogantly ignore that. So I do want to say, by the way, because there's a lot we don't know, there's a lot of information we can't see. I do hope that they achieve something good out of this. I do wish them well if they're trying to do the best thing out of this, and I do think at least they're trying to do something. At least they're people that aren't resting on Tommy's coattails or resting on laurels of things they did 10 years ago. At least they're trying to do something now.
Spawn just brought a really good thing here. It says they missed an opportunity with the boat engines. They should have copied the engine numbers so they could trace them back to who was buying them. That's a really good point.
Would take some real thought, though, wouldn't it? And that's kind of my concern with this. So it's like, without breaking trust, I know certain people's strengths and weaknesses, and it's like with some of the people that are doing this in France, like some of their strengths are really strong. So this is not a slag off session, but the strengths are say Danny Tomo, he's got massive strengths, and when used to those strengths, he's brilliant. But he's also got weaknesses. We all do.
Yeah.
And he needs someone to make up for those weaknesses. When he's got the right team, I've seen Danny in action. He's absolutely fantastic. But all of us, we've got deficits in some area, which is why we're better off in a team if we can be, especially when doing an operation like that. And just with that point that was raised there, these are the sort of things that get dropped, you know?
Yeah.
We'll be dropping a link, Stefan. Yes, I'm just gonna keep chatting with him for a bit first. There's a couple of things I wanted to get through, but so Tom, yeah, so Tom's Generation X is generally you are starting off speaking to someone or something like that. So yeah, so Vin, any final thoughts on, because again, I don't want it to sound like I'm shitting on what's going on in France. I honestly don't know. It's more.
I'll be honest with you, right? I think what we're offering up is constructive criticism. That's all we're doing. This isn't bad mouthing anybody. This is about just realize what influence you've got over people. When you go over there, don't live stream, because people will be watching a live stream and they can pinpoint your location from that live stream. Probably not a good idea to do that.
I understand the live stream thing.
Yeah.
I get it. We did the same thing. You know, you're so anxious to show people, but it was the stupidest thing we could have done.
Because while you're broadcasting to your audience, people who you particularly don't want to know where you are will also be watching it.
And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
And it happened to Charlie Veach. That happened to Charlie Veach in Manchester. He was live streaming, and the people found him because of his live stream, and that's why he stopped doing his live streams.
You think about that this, right? We were there for 2.5 days. By the day we were leaving, there was already a placard of us, pictures of us, saying that we're far right, and a thing about us in the paper. That's how careful we were.
Probably another good idea as well is, if you're going to go into that area, is don't be based in that area. Be based well away from it, and then just go in at night.
Absolutely. And that's what I was trying to tell the people that were not used to these kinds of places. I was like, you can't just go stick a tent up in the middle of one of these places and expect things to go unnoticed and expect people to talk to you, and that it's not going to work that way. They wouldn't listen. And as a result, people turned on us very quick. By that night, they knew exactly where we were. Then we went live streaming. The live streaming was a bit of banter between blokes, but if you don't know who we are or anything else, probably didn't come across very well. Do you know what I mean? It was all done very wrong. And as a result, and the thing of it was as well, the work I've been doing in the daytime was all off camera, talking to people, getting to know people, getting a tiny bit of trust, bit by bit, understanding where the lefties were, and getting business owners to trust you because they're worried about losing their goddamn business, and with good reason.
Yeah.
And then one live stream later, and everybody's just betrayed them, and you've just lost all the trust in the world. You know, there's so much that goes into it, so much work that goes into it, so little on camera, and that's why I'm saying I don't want to knock Danny or anything else because you don't know what's going into off camera. But I will say that, yeah, you know, if you're going to do anything like this, if you want to protect your borders or anything else, there's just a certain way of doing things, a certain way of not doing things.
Yeah,
And
I think-
maritime law or non-maritime law is not an excuse to try a citizen's arrest. It won't work out for you.
Yeah, I think my advice for anything like this will be low profile, covert. That's your way to go. Low profile, covert. Keep your team small. They've done that anyway. There's only 2 of them. Keep your team small. Don't have a massive team, so you just stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Don't be based in the area. Going at night. That would be my advice.
Been one of the best things that we could have done would have been just based 5 minutes outside the area. So all it would have taken just 5 minutes. It would have made such a difference because then we would just needed us on the beach at night and nobody would have even noticed.
Well, all you've got to say is if anybody comes along and say, well, we do wild camping videos, we're just camping on the beach.
Exactly. So it was so much. Don't get me wrong; it's part of a learning experience as well. But there was a lot of arrogance on that trip that I was on, and so you know, I only speak through my own experiences and mistakes as well. It's not like I think I'm above it. It's just from speaking from having seen it, you know, having seen the mistakes that people make.
I mean, to be honest with you, I would have thought maybe he has. I don't know if he has. He should have some kind of military advisor with him to advise him because they'll have trained in this, like I have, like others have. They'll have trained in this. They'll know exactly how to go in covertly and do these sort of things, and that will be invaluable. There'll be loads of veterans out there that will probably willing to do it. They've probably got them as security. Just speak to security. Just ask them how they would do it, and then just follow their instructions. That's what you got to do.
I think that's it. I don't know. Again, it really depends what comes out of this, and even if they're not successful, that doesn't mean they haven't tried. But I do hope they get something a little bit more than. At the moment, my concern is that they're just going to get banned and they're going to claim that's some kind of victory, which it's not.
Yeah, I think they're a bit naive because they're a bit shocked that they're getting stopped at customs and they're probably most likely get a knock on the door when they get back here as well. Definitely, 100%.
And they've drawn a bullseye on themselves, so they should have known that, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean that's just naivety to me. It's like, of course they're going to come after you. They made a video saying we've been stopped at the. Well, yeah, of course they have. Of course they have. These people are authoritarian.
But this is the thing, though. Is it naivety, or were they hoping to trap the police like that?
The thing is, they've got to be careful of is that we know that the French government and these people traffickers are probably working very closely together. And corruption is rife within the French police. It's absolutely rife. So they need to be careful. I mean, I said this to you. I said they need to be careful because it could be so easily orchestrated that, oh no, 2 British patriots were killed by migrant people traffickers buried out in the sand somewhere. It could be so easily done.
And I'd hate that. I'd hate that. You know, you know, regardless of all the petty stuff that goes on and everything else, they're out there trying to do something. You know, that would be the most awful result ever. You know, nobody wants to see that.
But this is why they would need somebody in charge that is going to brief them on this and just like give them a reality check about what could happen in that regard. But
sorry, I didn't mean to put that on screen.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to put that on screen, sorry. Just popped up out of nowhere. No, I totally agree with you. And again, you know, I do wish them the best, but I just hope they are chasing the right thing, and I hope they get what they need, you know, to actually make a difference. Because that's really what we're talking about this morning, is making a difference, wanting to make a difference, and the people that are just monetizing this movement, who don't want things to change, who don't want solutions, because solutions mean that these videos dry up. Whereas, like for me, I started making videos because I wanted to make sci-fi videos and stuff. I never wanted to do activism. I like making stupid videos, as some of you may have noticed. And doing ones like this was never part of the plan. And I think for a lot, for a lot of us, we're doing stuff that we never really wanted to do, because it's the only way we know of dealing with all this and trying to put
Tom,
out truths that we know the news won't.
it would have been the easiest thing for me in the world to not get involved in any of this and just keep going to my 9-to-5 security job at work and just carrying on as if nothing had happened. It'd be the easiest thing in the world for me to do. But unfortunately, where you live, it's lefty central. Where I live, it's lefty central. Nobody's standing up and talking about what's going on. They're just letting them get away with it. And I just couldn't sit there and say nothing anymore. I just couldn't do it.
I get it. The other thing as well, I mean, you've been silenced so many times on YouTube, and every time I ever saw you on YouTube in the old days, I told you I took a liking to you straight away. I never saw you do anything bannable. I never saw you say anything bannable.
It was, the thing is, there were people, I'm not going to tell what they did, but they were doing things that enabled that to happen. People just didn't like what I got to say, and it wasn't even the far left; it was the far right.
Usually. Can I just say, just quickly, I apologize to everybody. I can see from YouTube, it looks like there's no anti-aliasing, but B, it looks like my signal's coming across quite badly again. What I don't know is if it's strain on my graphics card, if it's a weird strain on my connection, or something else, because they're really, or if this studio is just shit, because it really should be operating well today. Everything's been checked in advance, so it's like the connection's rubber banding. So there's nothing I can do about it at the moment.
I'll just address this by Captain. Yeah, I totally agree with that. No such thing as free speech on YouTube. You have to abide by their terms and conditions. I'm afraid that's true. But then you've got JD Vance and you've got President Trump going about free speech in this country when they could do something about YouTube in their country. Now, I know it's based in Ireland, but the main body of YouTube is based in America. They could put sanctions on YouTube in America to force them to stop all this nonsense with free speech. They could do that.
Trouble is, Ben, though, right? It's like that'll be circumvented, because look at what's happened with X. Musk's just been fined 120 million, because the Online Safety Act and all the rest of it means that people can't have free speech on the internet now. So they're actively fining companies for having their own policies. So, for instance, the research I've done in the last week suggests that there are countries around the world that are defining free speech with places like America and that, and they're working it out. The UK is one of the countries that just will not. We will not.
The thing is, Tom, right? President Trump's got things in his back pocket. It's like us. The EU needs Britain more than it needs the EU. It's the same with America. The EU needs America more than it needs the EU. Right. It doesn't need it at all. So all it would have to do is like what Steve was saying the other day, is put a 200% tariff on all goods for a couple of weeks, and they'd be begging for a better deal. And in that deal, he would just say, right, stop all this nonsense with free speech. That's all you have to do.
Captain said about the free speech on YouTube, and I wish people would understand what he said there, because that applies always round. So what Captain said, let me just read it out again, anybody listening. No such thing as free speech on YouTube. You have to abide by their terms and conditions, I'm afraid. And that is true. So my own comments could get deleted from my own channel. I have no control over that than anybody else does. And
he's right.
And so we can offer free speech to the point that YouTube give it to us.
Yeah, I get the blame. I get the blame. People say you're removing comments. No, I'm not removing comments. YouTube is removing the comments.
Yeah, I do as well. And they don't realize my own comments are being removed as well. But yeah, it's one of those things where I can show you my YouTube studio. You can see all the moderations turned off, and they moderate anyway. That changed.
Yeah, I've noticed as well,
4 years ago.
Yeah, he's
Say
right
again,
about
mate?
this as well, where he says this. There are certain words that you can say that will take you off the algorithm totally. I mean, I found that the other day. I absolutely, I don't know, sacked, what do you call it, diluted down that video the other day. Was talking about the young 15-year-old girl. Completely diluted that down, and it's still got partially restricted, even though nothing. I didn't say anything in it whatsoever.
Really bad. I mean, I remember one day, I think it was an algorithm going wrong because nobody said the word in any way like you might think. In our chat, somebody mentioned having a kebab, just having a kebab. It was like, you know, what you're going to do, but, you know, somebody said fish and chips, kebab, blah, blah, blah. And the word kebab was suddenly banned from the chat. And anybody saying the word kebab couldn't type. And all this craziness was going on. It wasn't on mods. It wasn't on mods. It was YouTube having a fliddy over the word kebab. And this is the sort of, and that was going, that's a couple of years ago. So yeah, there's some crazy stuff that goes on. If you look on X at the moment, there is my feed is full of it every single day. Like there's hundreds of people saying your AI has wiped my YouTube channel off. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Your YouTube channel has just cost me 4 weeks of revenue, and I'm employing 3 people. Yeah, sorry about that. We've reinstated your channel, and I'm seeing it every single day. So
Yeah.
much for improving free speech. Every single day, there's channels being taken down arbitrarily by AI that's made mistakes.
I'll just address this by the captain as well. Even now, though, people saying that, I'm not going to say it in case it happens here, but the AI has learned that people are substituting the word that you said there
Yeah, that's
for the
right.
other word.
Yeah,
It's learnt that now and is now
AI
banning the
learns
word
that.
there.
Yeah, you know, you're right. AI learns that. It's like I used to call COVID the global bastard, because it's a few words. But it's like people you have to use the abbreviation SA, which even though the algorithm knows what it means, it allows it because you're censoring yourself, and it sees it as being okay. They're allowed to talk about that as long as they use this kind of censorship. Or you'll see people, and they'll say like words that just it might, and he punched him in the face, and then he broke a rib, or he's bleeding from the mouth, and you'll hear them just cut out the word bleeding, and you're like, what? And sometimes they'll talk about the R word, and I'm thinking retard or no, and I never worked out what the R word was because it wasn't rape. But they're using letters to describe words that aren't available on here, and I don't even know what the hell they're
Yeah.
talking about. It's like
You
a
know,
coded language.
sometimes it's like looking at a millennial typing out a text message with people.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, I can't
yeah.
understand you anymore.
Yeah, I'm lost. Yeah, I'm lost. You've abbreviated so many words or taken so many words out. All I've got is the, and.
Yeah, when you get to that point, you know it's probably not a good idea to be on that platform anymore. It's that bad. It's like,
Yeah. And this is where we've got caught out with YouTube, isn't it? Is that YouTube has made it so that somehow YouTube has survived its skullduggery, and it's made it so that it's as big as Netflix. So we're stuck with it, and
yeah.
that sucks. That does suck.
I was hoping that Elon Musk was going to do, because he was talking about it at one point. He was actually, you're right, Tom. You just Tom has disappeared. Yeah, he was talking about bringing in his own video platform for X, and I was hoping he's going to do that. Looks like you're right, Tom. What happened there, mate? Your sound's gone, buddy. Your sound's gone. Yeah, there's no sound. No, there's still no sound.
One,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's it. You're back. Yeah, you're back.
Hey, mate. I don't know. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a, let's just say, a technical wobble. Apologies. It's because I'll be honest with you. It's because I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast and it is hammering my machine. I think what's going on. Sorry, mate. Where were we?
I was just talking about. I just talked about Elon Musk when he was talking about adding another section to Twitter, which would have been a video sharing site, pretty much like YouTube. Arrival.
Right.
I think that's what he needs to do. If he did that, I think people might actually shift.
But you know what though? He needs to stop being a prick and charging so much for everything.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I mean, Grok. Have you seen Grok? 28 quid a month for Grok.
Yeah, or you can pay the £300 a month version.
Yeah, no thanks.
Or if you want the £1,200 a month version.
Yeah, and from what I've been told, there isn't much difference.
No, there's not. You're talking about processing power and a few extra credits. It's really not that much, and so it's a bit like, you know, if you buy a sports car and then you buy one that's loads more expensive, but it's only really got a few extra bits of horsepower, but those bits of extra cost that much more. It's like that.
Yeah, from what he's been saying, they're going to improve it next year, and maybe that's when these new tiers should have been brought in, because apparently next year you're going to be able to make 20-minute movies, and obviously that justifies probably a 28 quid a month. That would justify that, but 201 no, definitely not.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think the AI tools are good, but the AI, I've been really, I don't want to go into this today, but I've really been finding out what's wrong with it, and the problem's twofold, and that is, one, it's obviously all the problems I've already highlighted. It's dishonesty and everything else. Why it's like that is due to a reward system. We'll break it down in another video where people are interested in AI, but it's to do with the reward system, where the word helpful is a variable. It doesn't mean helpful, it means reward. So that needs to be understood to understand why it keeps offering to be helpful when it's being completely the opposite. Yeah. But it's more than that. It's the European Union and other places in the world have an AI operating around something called the principle system, which means you give it clearly defined rules. It can learn and operate within those rules, but the rules are clearly defined. Starmer has gone for the flexible approach, which sounds very, very amiable, doesn't it? The flexible approach actually gives you hard rules. So where in the principled approach, you'd have those hard rules, but there would be rules that you would work with and around, because they are the parameters that you work within. In the British system, the rules wouldn't be there until someone takes offence at something that is subjective. So what I'm trying to say is the rules for the British one are all subjective, to do with feelings, to do with perceived harmful things. It's all changeable, variable, depending on what people see at harm at that moment. It's basically woke rules.
It's woke, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like the law. Pretty much like the law at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what. But it is the law. It is the law. So they brought this law in. So AI the reason AI in our country is getting worse, and why it can't give you a straight answer, is partly legality and partly because our government has made. There's about 20 governments around the world calling our government out for its treatment of AI, because it's basically just neutered it and made it useless.
Well, they don't want the truth. They don't want AI knowing the truth and then revealing the truth to the people. That would be bad, wouldn't it, for them?
But this is what was happening, was that AI had a natural programming instinct that was given to it to try and work with you to get you the truth. And so what it was doing is it was circumventing its own rules to get that truth to you when you were working with it. So can't have that. So that's all stopped now. AI's, I mean, I can still get the truth out of it, but it's exhausting now. It's exhausting. I have to say, hypothetically, in a hypothetical situation, if I was to run a fake company and I have to say all these things just to get a straight answer out, it's exhausting. But with the X thing with Musk, I wish he would stop charging for everything. He's the only person I know who's ever got away with launching a platform that was previously free and then charging for it and actually getting away with it. Most platforms die when they do that.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's doing it cheap, is it? It's not like he's doing it on the cheap to help anybody.
It doesn't really give you anything extra, really. I mean, I'm on the lowest tier paying for it. And it doesn't just, It's like what we found out with StreamYard. All the bells and whistles aren't really worth it because you don't use half the stuff.
Yeah, and I am bothered about, like, not bothered is perhaps the wrong word, but like with some of the videos I've seen come out recently, I'm spending a couple of weeks making what some people seem to be making in a few hours. But at the same time, if I can sit there and make a video like that in a few hours, what's the point? What's the point in what I do?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think it's actually holding back his platform a little bit as well, because you might have some really good content creators with stuff that I'm not paying X amount a month just to get an extra boost in replies and stuff like that.
That is the other thing. Is if you're not paying, you're not getting out.
No.
You
get limited reach with the low tier, but it's like when you've seen all these big YouTubers are like blowing up. It's because they're paying full whack for everything.
Yeah,
because they can afford to do that. So just increasing their reach. So everything for a smaller channel, everything's against them until they reach a certain amount of subscribers. Until that point is reachable, that they can start paying for all this stuff.
And I see now a captain mentioned one the other day called, I think it was QQ something, and one I looked at again the other day. It was when I showed on the original video. Checked it out again the other day. It's still there. It's called Social Wick, and the price if you've got money, you could build a completely artificial channel with this thing. You would need a few quid, but I don't understand. I do get it because you can make yourself look bigger than you really are, but I don't know. I don't. It's such a messy business. The way when I started was you just had to work hard and hope that you were better than everybody else.
Right, mate. I don't know what you want to do because I'm gonna have to drop out in a minute. You're gonna drop me a link. I don't want to tell you what to do in your live stream, mate, but I'm gonna have to go in a minute. So. All
right, buddy. Well, I will drop in a link in the live stream. But thanks for joining me today, Vin. I'm sorry we didn't cover so much new stuff, but I do think it's sort of a matter of conscience to cover these things sometimes, you know.
Yeah, we have to. For obvious reasons, we can't go into how far we'd really like to go into it.
Yeah.
But at some point, we will be able to. We really will. And those people, beware, because we're definitely coming for you at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
When? Who knows? But yeah. All right, mate. Thanks for having me on, mate. Awesome.
No worries.
Awesome as usual. Have a great live stream. Give this guy some more subscribers. Go like, share, subscribe, and stuff, please.
Remember, Vindicator strikes back. And what are you on Twitter, mate?
Twitter, yeah. It's on the bottom of the screen, mate. You've got me on the bottom of the screen. Vindicator Strikes Back on YouTube and Dark Knight DA on X. So you can find them. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers, bud. Have a good one.
You too, mate.
Bye-bye.
And you have a good stream. Hope we got any more technical difficulties. See you later, mate.
See you later, mate. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I am going to stick the link out there for you guys. I'm not going to stand too much longer myself because this is actually as I said to you before, this is normally my day off, but I've kind of realised I do want to do that morning stream. I like doing Tom's Generation X. So doing this stream today makes sense, even with it being a day off. As long as I do it nice and early, after I finish in another 10, 20 minutes, I've got the rest of the afternoon, evening to do all the other things I wanted to do. Plus I did a load of stuff before I came on today as well, meaning that the stream's actually been fun to do because I haven't had, when you sit and worrying about other jobs, none of that's happened. So that's been really cool. So let me see if I can drop a link for you guys now. No pressure, no stress. Hang on a minute, it's taken ages to come up. If people don't want to join that, it's fine, but it's just giving you an opportunity in case you do, in case there's anything you've heard today that you'd like. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it to come up. 1 second. Maybe this is working now. There we go. Right, 1 second. I will post a link now. God, that took a long time to... Oh, no, hang on. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I do know what's going on. Okay, right. Bear with me. Right, add guest. There you go. It was hiding it. It was hiding it from me. It's been a very strange day, technically, today. Very strange things happen. Right, let me get this over to you in chat. Talking of scams, I have just been offered 2 GB fiber for £35 a month. That might not be a scam. I mean, GigNet do 1 gigabyte for something like £30 a month. So it's not actually that out of reason. Does that make sense? It depends who offered it to you, doesn't it? But yeah, that's not that far outside of reason, believe it or not. You won't get that speed. You probably get something close to a gig, but right, links in, guys, if you want to use it. As I said, no pressure at all. Well, while you decide if you want to come in or not, I'm going to just have a quick look and see what we've got on X, because me and Vin do tend to point out a lot of the same stuff. So let me try and find. What I did was I reposted loads of stuff this morning, which is basically stuff I noticed that me and Vin have been looking at. Oh, there we are. Look, that's us. Whee, that's us. Oh, is that the one that didn't work? Yeah, it is. It's the one that didn't work. Where's the live one for now? Is that one going? I'll have to find out in a little while. Yeah, that's supposed to say live on there. I just realised. So am I not live on X again? X sucks. I just want to say that X has really sucked recently. I'll check those out in a minute, because there's look how many copies of that are there on there. That's ridiculous. Right, they've got to go. Sorry. They gotta go. That's ridiculous. That's my live stream, posted about 4 or 5 times. I wouldn't do that. Right, I don't know what happened there, guys. So let's keep going down. Stefan, how you doing, buddy? I can't see you, but I heard your name come in. How you doing? Let's have a look. I can't hear you. So, oh, Stefan, let me bring you on stream. Sorry, mate. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. Stefan, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, but you're very quiet for some reason.
Yeah, you're very, very quiet, mate.
Yeah, my volume's full.
Yeah, I don't know what that is for your volume, but for some reason, yeah, I can't actually hear you very well at all, mate. See if I can do anything this end.
Yeah, it's very low for some reason. I can hear you, but just not.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you very well, mate. That's the problem.
Jump back in again.
Say again, bud.
I said I'll jump out and try and jump back in again.
All right. Let's see if I can change that here. Actually, that might work. Let's try this here. How's it coming? How's Stefan coming to you guys? Just make sure it's proper fiber. I get 2 gig upload and download for that sort of price. Yeah, I thought it wasn't out of the realms of what I'd seen. If you use StreamerBot, which is free, it will post all this for you. Thank you for that, StreamerBot. Let me just take a note. Let me just take a note. By the way, Vindicator, I thought you might want to know, buddy, as you use Prism as well. I halved the bitrate on Prism yesterday, and I didn't notice a massive drop in quality. There was a drop, but not a massive drop in quality. What I did notice, and I also protected my battery and just took a little bit off the processor, not much, about 5%. And my phone was running cold. The stream was running fine. Prism was not killing my battery or my phone or my processor, and it was encoding video just fine. I halved the bit rate to only 1,000 kilobits per second, and I thought it would come out crap. It was fine. So it saved Prism for me in terms of using it. Right, let me just put a note of this thing Captain's put down there, because I forget the names of things very easily. So hopefully I don't forget where I put that. Yeah, so yeah, again, so just to Dave there, you know, like Captain said, make sure it is proper fiber for that kind, you know, if they're claiming that kind of speed. But yeah, guaranteed price for 18 months. I'd say if you look at there's a company that's just changed its name. It used to be called GigNet. It's just changed its name to something. I mean, they were offering gigabyte speeds for between 28 and 32 pounds. It's not that crazier a speed. Like I said, I doubt you'll actually get that higher speed, but it'll be pretty damn good. Like the lowest you're going to get is like 700 or 800. Just bringing you in now, mate. Captain, how you doing, buddy?
Oh wait, let me just mute this. Make sure you don't double.
Let me get this stupid thing off screen for you, so we can get you probably. How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. Yeah, look at that streamer bot. Honestly, the things you can do with that is unbelievable.
So,
it is.
Do you use this for a podcast then? Your podcast?
I use it for my gaming streams. Yeah, so I mean, you can literally control anything, webcams, everything. So, like, I've got a camera that's on a motor, so the chat can actually type into the chat and move the camera. Zoom in, zoom out, move around the room where they want to look or whatever.
So
it'll also post all your. So as soon as you set a live, it'll post it to all your social medias, even into Discord and stuff like that. Honestly, it's amazing. It's
right,
and it's free.
So you know your camera thing. So how does that work then? So does that send like a batch file or a command from your chat to your camera? How does it?
So basically, what it's which one is it? That one. That's an Insta360 4K cam, and basically what you're doing in StreamerBot is you obviously you make commands in StreamerBot. So you could make a command in there saying move camera left. So as soon as somebody typed in chat move camera left, the camera would rotate left.
Right. So it is a form batch file kind of thing. Yeah,
you have to make commands up for it to work in StreamerBot, but it's simple. But it's one of the things you want to look into because it saves you a hell of a lot of time.
I love that idea. It's the camera I don't know if I can afford, but
no, you don't have to use that camera. You can use no. You don't have to use that camera. That camera is quite expensive for what it is.
Yeah,
but,
imagine.
What I'm saying is that the versatility of this program is.
So this will make the posts and stuff I need. This will give the people the information I need. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So say if you set a live up on YouTube.
Yeah.
The minute you set that live up, then, and the minute you hit live, it will then post it to every social media you've got. Providing you set the social medias up.
Brilliant.
So it'll even post it in Discord, Facebook, or all of them.
It's just expensive.
It's free.
Wow. Okay,
this is why I'm trying to get you to use OBS again as well, because OBS has come on a long way, since Thingy. But then if you're using OBS, you don't have to pay for StreamYard or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can use it all in conjunction for free, basically.
I've been thinking about it since we spoke about it, and
one of the biggest
I
secrets
want to try it again.
With OBS is you'll get a little CPU usage at the bottom.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go over like 10%, it's fine.
Yeah.
It all depends on what CPU you got. I mean, I've got the best Ryzen 9 sort of thing, so I can use 4K cameras, all sorts, all the time. Like number of maximum. But
Ryzen 9, it's an Acer Nitro 16.
It's say that again. Sorry.
The laptop's an Acer Nitro 16. I can't remember. It's a Ryzen 7 chip.
Yeah, but as long as you most of your streams, when you're talking like this,
There's not a lot of movement and stuff, is there?
Yeah, the most you need to be is like 1080p, 1440p, 1080p. I mean, when I'm gaming, it's 4K at 120 hertz. So it takes.
And I'm not worried about like you have it at 120 hertz, obviously because of the gaming, don't you? And the 4K because of the amount of detail you're trying to get across.
Yeah, because I want the viewers to have the same experience as what I have.
Exactly.
So, but obviously, when you start using like 4K at 120 hertz, OBS does struggle, and you do need a monster of a PC. But
yeah, I can imagine. If I'm doing 1080p, you think I'll be fine?
Yeah, you'll be. I mean, in my streaming PC, there's an Intel Arc 750 graphics card. So it's not like that's not a massively expensive graphics card, and it's not a massively
no, you're right. Yeah.
high-powered graphics card. It's not like the 4090 I have in my gaming PC. That's a totally different story. But it's that just handles the stream stuff, so it don't have to have something major in there, if you know what I mean.
I suppose what a lot of it is as well is I forget. It's like time drips by, and you forget that like when I was using OBS originally, you know, the hardware wasn't really up to scratch. Whereas now it's come so far forward, and the encoding methods are so much more efficient. You know, that I really owe it to myself to try it again. You know, because like you said, the StreamYard. I mean, this isn't StreamYard, but it's built upon the same type of idea. It's just cheaper, but these are shit. Let's be honest, they are shit for what they are. Whereas if you use OBS properly and that, you get a lot more out of them, don't you?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Plus, you can still use that program for your phone-ins or whatever. I'll call it a phone-in, but, you know, when you send a link out to people to come in, you don't have to pay for it because you're not actually using that service to. I tried this last night, actually, as well. So you don't have to use... You don't actually have to pay for that StreamYard or anything like that. Because you're not actually going live from that. You're going live from OBS. All you've done is created a window in OBS that actually looks at that particular window, if you know what I mean. So that particular program.
Yes, I do. Because I pointed this out to some people in the past, and they, for some reason, they couldn't get their heads around it. It was too easy for them to get their heads around, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's... I mean, to be honest with you as well, StreamYard and stuff like that, it's... I don't know the program very well. I don't know how long it's been going, but it's nowhere near as advanced as it. It's. I've seen people with dropouts and stuff like that all the time. It's complications. It's like it's in the early design of it, sort of thing.
I'll be honest. There's also I'm guessing. I think there's a lot of bullshit going on with StreamYard. So, for instance, they keep upgrading it and giving it abilities that OBS has had for years, and I can't help but wonder if it's a terribly program version of OBS for web that these abilities already existed on, and they either didn't know how to make them happen, or they've been holding them back deliberately and then opening them up as though they're adding all these upgrades on, when if you look at the upgrades that they're doing, they're all the things that OBS has had on for years, and it's just very, very suspect what they're doing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, OBS is open source, so there's people designing all sorts of widgets and stuff like that you can download and use, sort of thing.
Yeah. There was a question I was going to ask you, actually. If anybody might know this, it might be you. And that's, I found a bit of software called Bleepify, which if I do a video and I swear too much on it, I can run that video through it and get the words taken off. But is there any bit of software I can get? And I do realize I've still got to try, but is there any bit of software I can get that real time can block my swear words, or even me saying if I need a bit of help? Is there anything you know that I can get that can do it?
Real time will be very difficult, because even when we go to broadcasting industry, you think you're watching, say, ITV, BBC or whatever live. You're not. You're actually watching on a massive delay anyway.
Oh yeah.
What that's transmitted, and that's how they managed to get the bleep system to work.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So they're on like a 10-minute. Is it 10-minute delay loop? So
yeah. So when we go to start streaming and stuff like that, I don't know. I've never used them, so I don't know if there's any out there. But
right.
When you set a stream up, whether it's in YouTube or whatever, you'll see that it says low latency, normal, or ultra low latency.
Yeah.
Each one of them gives you a different delay.
Yeah.
So if you're in normal, it's normally 20 seconds to 30-second delay.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
There's low, which is I think about 10 seconds.
And the other one's up to about a minute, isn't it?
No, it's come down since then. So like ultra low is like 3 seconds. But if you're on the ultra low, you can only stream at like 1080p or something like that. You know, So when I stream in 4K, I have like a 20-second delay on my stream because of the transcoding.
Right.
If you understand what I mean.
Yes, I do understand. Yes.
So it gives about a 20-second delay. So this is where sometimes it comes into confusion when people might write in your chat, and you got to sometimes realize that it could be 20 seconds behind. So you thinking, oh, what's he typing that to me for? Sort of thing. And I think that's what we got confused with the other day.
Yeah. sometimes as well, I'm taking a snapshot of chat, and yeah, it doesn't always work out. When you're trying to take a snapshot rather than read it properly, you know, you can catch the wrong things.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you what you're at like you are at 30 fp. No, you're at 120 at 30 fps.
Yeah, I've locked it at 30 frames a second. Yeah.
Yeah, with a you got about a 3-second delay at the moment.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good sign because things are at least.
And that's another thing you want to change as well, because you're at 38 kilobytes per second. So that's for 1440p. You only want to be looking about 14 to 20.
What did you say it was?
You're transmitting. It's transmitting 42 kilobytes per second.
I don't have a control over that because that's coming out server side.
That's them. That's you in OBS and like in prison you could control that, but obviously through this program that you're running now you can't. But yeah, that's hell of a lot for
over the top.
Well over the top, really.
That's interesting because that also means that people are going to. It's going to take more of people's bandwidth.
No. It'll take more of your own. So if you can find a way of restricting that yourself.
But
it will stop a lot of the glitching stuff, and that happens with you.
If it's showing you that number post server side, is it possible that it's not taking that number off me though? Is it possible that I'm still sending a certain rate? Because I thought I'd locked the rate in.
No, it's.
Is there any chance that when they're transcoding it, they're sending out as a bigger file than it actually was when it went up?
No, if I remember rightly, I don't want to tell you this wrong, but I'm sure. Yeah, because I've had other streamers do this before, and I've tested it. Because if all you've got to do is when you're looking at somebody's stream, if you just right click on your mouse and look for stats for nerds, it tells you then what's going off. So that's why I knew you were at 30 FPS, because it tells me what you're at.
Yeah.
I know you're at 720p and at 30 FPS.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting with the data rate, because I actually thought we'd got that down. So,
but you only need that. Well, if you're doing a 720p, I won't go no more than 10.
Exactly.
10,
no, exactly. So if I'm video editing, you're talking the kind of numbers that work with me. I know if I'm doing a 720p, I can really tone things right down. You know, in terms of the amount of memory used, everything. So.
But if a program allows you to adjust that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think what it is, not just this program, but StreamYard, all of them, I don't think they allow you to adjust it. I think this is the problem. So I've adjusted it on YouTube, but it seems like that's what I'm saying. I think this program is. Yeah,
it's normally the program that broadcasts it. So like in OBS, I can go in and I have mine set at 50k, but I've got a massively upload and download, so it don't matter to me.
Yeah.
But. It's when you like your camera, I can see it's slightly freezing now, and I think that's something to do with your upload speed,
right?
Because normal upload speed is only something like, depending on what supplier you're with. I mean, my old supplier used to be Virgin Media, and although I got a gig download, it still only used to be 10 up, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But no, 50 up. 50 up. Yeah, 50 up. Well, then you've got to think about what the rest of the arse is using and stuff like that, if you know what I mean.
That's right. Yeah. But what I was thinking of doing was next time, because I saw that today and I'm really not too happy with how it's coming out. And what I can't work out is if it's server side or if it's my side. So I thought what I'll do next time I transmit is I'm going to transmit through a signal I know can upload at a high rate. And then if it does the same thing then I know there's something else going on. It might just be that because this studio is cheap compared to others, you know, so it could be.
It don't matter. I know people. Honestly, that's got I've set guys up that with the most lowest gaming PCs or whatever, and if you fiddle it right, it'll work. And to be honest with you, it's like when I stream in 4K as a gaming person, not a lot of people can watch in 4K. Actually,
you're right. They haven't got the bandwidth to even watch it.
Yeah, well, yeah. So obviously they can select their side or it'll do it automatic for them. So
Yeah.
if they're struggling for internet, the especially with YouTube, it'll normally knock your what do you call it down? Not your bit rate, but your 720p or 1020p or whatever. Yeah,
right,
your resolution. That's it. I can think of the word.
Yeah. No, you're right. It will. It does. When you're copying things from Amazon and that allegedly, it will show you it going up between the resolutions, won't it?
Yeah. So it's that. I meant OBS. That they actually own a few more as well. Different broadcasting software.
Right.
And StreamYard, I believe that's owned by YouTube anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure it is. But
wow.
It basically simplifies it. You know, it sort of pissed me off a little bit. And I say this because it's brought TikTok to YouTube, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'll be honest with you. When Streamer first turned up, I was like, oh, any dummy can do it now. Then.
So it's not even that. It's like you know you go through TikTok and it's just full of alcoholics from having a rant and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a complete mess.
That's why I don't like the YouTube shorts, because they're going the same way. You know.
Yeah, I mean YouTube shorts are quite handy to get your views up and stuff like that, because when you think people go on the phone and they're just on the train or whatever and they're just flicking through the shorts. Yeah.
So when you do it, do you do a lot of shorts to your channel, and do they make a big difference to your traffic?
No, I have done in the past in special occasions or stuff like that, but no, I've never built my gaming channel around that sort of thing. So it's a lot of my gaming channel is built around people knowing me through that gaming community and having a lot to do with gaming devs and stuff like that. And that's why I don't really I have a completely different name and I don't share that, because gaming industry is far left. Telling you that now.
I know.
I've been cancelled before by saying stuff by certain game developers.
I know, for instance, from my own experience, that you will be banned from a whole host of servers all at once, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is, especially in the gaming industry, is the amount of cheaters that's actually they're cheating. And
is that still going on?
Yeah, it's massive. And when I've exposed it before, even where I've had to go through to Freedom of Information Acts from these companies, because it's got my back that much, because people think these are some sort of great sort of people and they're just cheating and they're making money off it, cheating, if you know what I mean, which really annoys me. And then you might get this 10-year-old kid who thinks he's going to be this super player like him, you know, spends all his time on it's just all wrong. It's all a big con. And this is where I went into, and I found out even a lot of these big streamers were using what do you call it, sub bot accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're as corrupt as hell, mate. A lot of them, not all of them, but
as well, it's the system that these companies charge you. That I don't know, they'll give you so many thousand for free, but they have massive.
Really?
Yeah. You can go on there and you can get 1,000 or whatever for free. This is what makes it. I always generally know who's doing it as well. It's dead easy to see people do it. I'm not going to tell you how, but it's dead easy to see people do it.
I'll be honest with you. A friend of mine and I've done a video. It's not on this channel, it's on the other channel, and we were sort of going around going that one, you know, because I will say this is that it works in digital blocks as opposed to natural analog lines. Let's put it that way. That's what I would say online, but.
It's not that as well. If you've got like 60,000 subscribers and you've got 3 people watching you, there's something wrong. Definitely.
Exactly. How can you not pull in even a handful of people to watch your live stream? It makes no sense. Absolutely.
And you can and you can view bot as well. But I tell you why a lot of people do this, because as well, game developers especially, and especially sponsor companies or stuff like that, you basically have to write sort of a CV art sort of thing, and then they look at your analytics. Okay, so if you've got decent analytics and decent stuff like that, they'll say, right, we'll offer you a place where you can talk to the devs, or we'll offer you this sponsorship or something like that. Okay, so you can have somebody that does it for 12 hours a day. He's got, I don't know, 20,000 subscribers. He gets average of 300 people watching him a day, and they'll just discount that bloke. He's legit, right? He'll be legit, and then you'll get somebody that's sub-botting, view-botting and stuff like that, and they'll get all the rewards, all the info. And basically, especially in the gaming industry, the more info you can get out of the developers, the more people's going to watch it, because the more leaks you can do and stuff like that. You can understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
And it's same.
So it sounds like you fake it till you make it.
Well, a lot of big streamers have come out and admitted it, because Twitch invented some AI sort of thing that could handle and see who was doing this.
Oh.
And it caught a lot of the big streamers out, and they had to come out and say, yeah, I've used it in the past and stuff like that.
Wow. Was there any fallout from that, or did people?
No, I tell you what, no, it never. There's another secret thing that happens in streaming as well. You, especially when you get big, you actually get a contract then by, it might be Twitch, it might be YouTube. So they'll pay you an annually amount of money then, like a normal working job.
Oh,
so,
right, okay. Mine was monthly with YouTube, so.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that's what you get paid in your ad revenue, or.
Got you.
Yeah, no, this is like a contract to work. So there'll be a contract to stream for, I don't know, it could be from 3 to 6 hours a day.
Oh, okay.
They'll get paid maybe a certain amount of money each year. And then when people donate to them, the streamer don't actually see that money. That goes all the way back to YouTube or Twitch. So you think you're giving that streamer £5 of your money, and he gets nothing from it. Honestly, it's unbelievable the cons that go off in it.
That really reminds. Okay, so.
And you might ask me, well, why don't YouTube or Twitch sort this out? Well, let's think about it.
Because they've already, they're the ones that are making the deal happen in the first place.
How can they sell their company to advertisement companies? They say, well, this guy's got 30,000 views. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
When in actual fact, he's only got 10,000 real people.
Yeah.
But so it makes them, that's why they don't chop down on it. Because it makes them look good to advertising companies.
It's so frustrating though when you try to do it the right way, you know?
Yeah. It's obviously it's
like I get it, but at the same time, you know, you want to grow an authentic, genuine community and have genuine loyalty and stuff like that. That I think that can only be done naturally. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to jump ahead, but I don't know. Aren't you just going to end up with vacuous channels that can't really back up?
No, because the system works is, say if you got put on front of YouTube's main page, right? You're streaming now. You got put on front of their page, right? And there's two different people doing the same thing. So let's say there's you one side doing it legit, and there's me the other side, and I'm doing it dodgy. I've got 1,000 people watching me. You've got 3 people watching you. Everybody that loads onto YouTube is going to go, oh, he's got 1,000 people watching him. I'm going to go and watch him.
Exactly what I've tried to tell people.
It seems more interesting.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, you could be a way better streamer than what I am.
People think he's more interesting, so.
You could be a way better streamer. And people think a lot of it's to do with algorithm and stuff like that. A certain bit of it is, but there's more to it, a lot more to it than that as well.
Manipulation. It's manipulation.
Yeah, it's manipulation. It's been going on for donkey's years.
I agree with you. And I just wish more people would understand this, because it would help. Just the awareness of it, you know, it would help. People really think like when someone like me brings it up, it's like sour grapes or something. It's like, no, I just want you to be aware of the game that's being played. Because it's not an even ground game, you know this, you know. is like, but it seems like with the YouTube channel now, it seems very much how much money you've got. So it's almost like setting up a business. If you've got the money to put in to fake all your views and subs and everything else, you might have enough money to make a business out of it. That's how it seems.
Yeah, and a lot of these things can't be picked up as well by AI because you've got people that sell you this stuff and they might have 30,000 phones, all with different accounts on.
Yeah.
And they'll just get that phone to sub to you.
So
automatically.
What's your thought on it all? Is it like, oh, well, nothing you can do to stop it? Or does it make you angry? Or
It makes me angry in a lot of ways. And I'll tell you why it makes me angry is because people go out there and earn good money and they come on certain platforms and think, I'm going to donate 50 subscribers to that chat.
Yeah.
To help his channel out and help his people out. 20 of them or 30 of them might, or even 10 of them might go to general people. The other 30 or 20 or whatever might go to these bots. Do you understand what I mean? So
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So there's that part of it that's a con.
Yeah.
That I don't like.
And then, I mean, you must see people like I see that are completely insincere about the things that they are taking money for or claiming to fight for or whatever else. I find that galling.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about charities and how they charities are one of the biggest scams ever.
Right.
My wife worked in these for years.
Right.
And even down to cancer charities where there's begging money to save lives and that, yet the money that they were spending, for instance, the company where my wife worked, when they got cancer on board, they revamped all their office for free with charity money. So brand new desks, brand new PCs, brand new everything. All this is charity money that's supposed to be going to save people with cancer.
I remember I was accosted by these people for this charity, and I gave to, I think it was the Red Cross. There was one for the animals. I think it was the RSPCA. I gave money to, and then they got me, and I told them I didn't have very much money, so I'd already signed up to 2 things on 2 separate occasions, and they just kept on and on at me, and I ended up guilt tripped into paying for like 4 different charities per month. I was making myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in the end, I had to sort of stand up for myself and say, "You're taking the piss out of me." Like, but they allowed it. They knew I would be putting myself at monetary harm, and they pushed for it. They pushed for me to keep giving money anyway. You know?
I always say go do it local for yourself. I mean, if you want to help somebody out, go grab a lawnmower, cut some disabled person's grass or something like that, or somebody that's got the big C, cut their grass or do something for them that way, rather than give it into these companies.
It's a clean transaction. They get something immediately.
It goes directly to the person you want to help.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of it's not skimmed off.
I agree with that, and that's a lot with what I do as well, Captain. I'm very aware of your gaming channels. I don't want to say too much, but a lot of what I do, we have to remember sometimes everybody wants to go to London or do this or go to this part of the country. It's like, well, that's okay, but don't step over what's on your own doorstep first. Remember to help people around you at home, and that's what a lot of people can unfortunately do. They want so quick to go to London or something that they'll step over their own homeless to get there. It's like, well, not really doing good then, if So yeah, you got.
This is the thing as well. This is why I never, when I see people out and they are auditing and stuff like that, when people's donating to them and stuff like that, and they're like, so I don't care because I know how much money this stuff costs. It costs a fortune.
Yeah.
The mixer alone that I use for my streaming, just the mixer alone is £700.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of money to invest in. So that's nothing to do. I mean, the mouse I use is £200 just for a mouse.
Yeah.
So it's crazy the amounts of money you have to spend in this game. I mean, you look at some of these these cameras that they're using, they're £400 or £500.
That's right. That's what put me in this position, mate. To be honest with you, is that, and it's what people didn't. In fairness, I didn't want to tell people too much, but I probably spent equivalent about 11 grand in the first 5 years running the podcast, and
crazy.
So when obviously when I got downgraded and had to restart again, you don't have that same money to go and get all that stuff again,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've got about 4 or 5 capture cards. They're £300 or £400 a piece.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, and I only use one now. So that, so the amount of money it's cost over the time. I mean, just the headset alone that I use is like 400 or 500 quid. All this massively counts up. That's teleprompters and stuff like that. It's crazy money.
It did with me. I get a laptop, and then once I started buying the camera stuff and the good microphone, it all just started. The cost piles up real quick, doesn't it? And you go, it gets. If you're not careful, it get out of control very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then you could do that and get all this stuff, and you don't become very popular or on streaming and stuff like that or whatever. So
I was saying about your videos, right? I don't know if it's the same for you, but all the creators in my circles, right? We've all got this curse. It seems that the video that we think is going to do really well, and the one we put the most work into, always bombs, and the one that we think is going to be crap because we put the least work into is always the most popular.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of when and how you post it. So, like, particularly YouTube likes, if you start posting videos about 4 o'clock, that's when you'll probably get a little bit more traction. So, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you want to be uploading it about 12 o'clock. Then put a time on it so it sets to go at 4 o'clock. And the reason I say set a time so it goes at 4 o'clock, because then it'll upgrade. Because although you've uploaded it, then they have to convert it into HD and 4K or whatever. So
is that right?
Yeah, they have to render it again or whatever their side. So generally about 4 o'clock sort of thing, and then that's when most people start looking on the phones and stuff like that. They come out of work and that. We're talking average people, here,
good point. So between 4 and 6 sort of thing.
Yeah, so and people are settling down for the evening or whatever, sort of thing. But to be honest with you, me personally, I don't do a lot of videos unless I'm trying to teach somebody something. So I was teaching somebody in a game, then maybe I'd make a video of it. Or if a new game come out or a new part of a game, I'd probably do more videos than. A lot of it is just live streaming, so you just sit there for like 8 hours a day or whatever, wherever you can, and people just jump in and jump out or whatever.
I think the type of streaming I'm doing, it's you've got to try and do more because as you do, you're growing, and that then invites certain people to come and have interviews with you that might not have done previously, and do you know what I mean? It's just like a snowball you're trying to grow the whole time. So it sort of it attracts bigger people as you go along. So it's kind of like that, really. It's I've often told people it's not so much you're looking for numbers for numbers' sake. It's they give you a louder knock when you knock on people's door, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so some people do pretty well because they'll get big numbers straight away as well. Like because they just know somebody that's big already.
I did the first time I started, and I don't really know how or why. I just, when I did my channel the first time, I went straight up over 1,000 in I don't even know how long it was. No time. It was crazy easy. The first channel I did, completely opposite of what I'm having now. It's quite difficult now, but the first channel I had, it was easy, and I honestly don't think it was anything I was doing right. I think it was just pot luck, to be honest. Yeah,
maybe you've dropped on something that people was pretty interested in or trying to get interested in at the time. Like, I think so. It's. I always say people should, if you start streaming and stuff like that, go back to the Darren Baran experiment that he did live on TV, where he had a big audience, and he sent a bloke out there on the streets, and the audience was controlling him what to do, and they told him to run out into this middle of this road, and he got run over, and they made out that this guy died or whatever. And then all of a sudden the crowd was shocked, in massive shock. Can't believe I've done this to him. But they found it entertaining first to do this to him. Do you understand what I mean? They thought. So this is why some of these auditors, you'll see them, and they're absolute clowns. They deserve to be arrested, to be honest with you.
Yes, they do.
They do. But that gets them the clicks and gets them the subscribers. And then they're moaning about when they get arrested and when their phone gets took off them for so long. And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have done that anyway. That's just being a dick anyway. You deserve to get.
I know, and it puts bad reputation on the on the rest of us. Also makes it difficult if you do want to have a sensible conversation with a police officer. They assume you're going to be like the rest of them. And the other thing as well, if that's what they're showing you on camera, all I'll say to you is you can imagine then what these people are acting like in groups when they can't be heard, can't you?
Well, this is why I say to a lot of them, why don't you film all of it? Why are you not filming all of it? Or if something goes off on the right side, you stick the camera to the floor and turn your mic off.
I always found
you told me you're there as an independent media.
Yeah.
And then
I used to go there as right-wing media because why hide where you're coming from? But what I used to do was I used to advertise it as I'll start my camera at the beginning of the event, I'll turn it off when it's over. No, that way you know there's no cuts.
Yeah, but you say you went there as a right wing, right? So if the police said to you, right, you're going to stop with the right side, right?
Yes.
That's fair enough then. But you can't say, I'm there. You can't go and stand with the right and then all of a sudden, click of a finger, say, I'm independent. I want to move between.
Exactly. The thing is, I know I'm not going to get away with the independent thing anyway. So what I do is I'm just like this. I'm just honest. I'm just like, no, I'm going to be with those guys there. But what's the point in,
Well, the police as well, they have, they actually advertise, well, there was advertising in Nottinghamshire Police for people to sit there and monitor social media.
Right.
So you can go out and you do your live stream, you're sat there with alt-right people, let's say, and you're chanting at the left people and stuff like that or whatever. Then the next day you think, I'm going to be independent. They already watched that stream. They already know what you like.
Exactly.
That's why some people get away with it and they're like, oh, he's doing it. Why can't I do it? Because they already know.
Yeah. No, that's right. And also as well, it's sort of something about the integrity of the whole effort of what you're trying to do. It's like, again, I don't hide things. It's like I wanted to get behind the left's lines in Portsmouth, not to cause trouble, to demonstrate to people how, say, in London you couldn't get away with that. In the south, where they weren't used to policing that properly, how easy it was, and really it was dangerous. So I walked behind what you might call enemy lines and went and sat on a bench away from them because, again, I wasn't there to cause trouble. And I waited to see how long, and it took about 15 minutes to 20 minutes for a police officer finally came over and said to me, any chance you can move, mate? I said, yeah, no problem. I was seeing how long it would take you to come over. And I just said, you do realise that anybody could just walk over here? And he was like, no, we've got our eye on it. Fair enough. And I walked back over. But so I'll go and show people things that way. There's no need for any shouting, arguing, drama. But of course, it's not as exciting. It's not as exciting. But
yeah, me personally, I can't understand. I think at a stage now where why are we advertising the lefties? Because it's like a politician or anything like that, or sports club or anything like that. Bad press is better than no press.
I think that some people, because I've heard this argument made before, and a lot of people are like, why are you platforming these people? Because you're just getting these idiots about, and there is truth to that argument. The other side of it is, I think some people feel like don't stop your enemy while he's making a mistake, and I think they feel like the lefties come across so bad on camera. All you got to do is film them, and they tend to bury themselves.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, I see the point of it. But yeah, I see. Yeah, it's a mixed one, isn't it? It's a difficult one, I suppose.
It's difficult because it also depends on the intentions behind it, the people behind it. If they're doing it for the clicks and the views, that's what's going to come across, and it's going to be a drama situation. And like you said, then they're complaining about being arrested and acting in a certain way, and you almost want to see them arrested, for the way they're behaving, So yeah, I understand why you would say that, because it's like you're platforming these people. I think it works when they make themselves look like idiots, but it takes a lot of control on our side. We need to stay more quiet and let them bury themselves. I think that does work.
Well, Tommy learned a big lesson through this, a big lesson. That's why Tommy's changed a lot now. So he picks his fights and picks what he gets involved in for a start. He does, and that you won't see him turning up to these migrant hotels because
no,
it'll just be a disaster for him.
Oh, it would be. The thing is as well, what people don't realise about him is I spent the best part of 2 years working with him, and they see him in these situations on camera where they're like, oh yeah, he just wants to fight everybody. It's like, that's not true. The amount of times that people have tried to start trouble with him and he's just walked away, or he's tried to get away from it. There's just times when everybody has enough, and I think that when when it's happened with him, he's had enough. But a lot of the times he is. I've seen so many times where people are deliberately trying to provoke a fight with him, and all he's trying to do is get on with his day.
Especially the left, because they'll do anything to cancel anybody.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's their main objective. But when you actually, I'm good mates with England's worst football hooligan. So, but I was never involved in that. I got offered to be involved in it and I could have gone to meet Danny Dyer and all this lot and and Cass Pennant and everything. But I always asked him, I was like, what do you do this for? He's like, oh, it's just something we do to let steam off. Yeah, but what about general public? Well, we don't want them involved.
What?
They don't want. Yeah, football hooligans hate it when the general public get involved. They don't want to be nowhere near them. They'd sooner be in a field fighting another football club with them that want to fight, knock tempos at crap out of each other. They don't want the general public and his little lad in. They don't want them nowhere near. When you actually talk to these people
have got such an idea that we're all working together.
It make no sense to me. He's like, why? He's like, because you'll be fighting this other football fan. I said, yeah, when England play, you're best of mates and you go and fight the opposition again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, well, we were never in. The public was never supposed to get involved and anything like that. And obviously it's spelt into pubs and stuff like that on occasions.
Yeah.
And some serious things got wrong. But it basically just tried to organise a punch-up. It's a bit like years and years ago, this happened in schools, this did. I mean, it did around my area. One school used to fight another school in a field.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just carried on into adulthood.
Yeah, it's just carried on to adulthood a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
So,
well, is it? Oh yeah. By the way, so, well, did you hear what I said about Prism? By the way, how cutting the bitrate on that seems to have saved my phone.
Yeah, mine does the same as well. I mean, I've got a Samsung Galaxy somewhere. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I'm not really a big phone guru or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I've done some streams from there before or whatever, I use Prism, and it used to come up overeating all the time.
Yeah.
It did. So I weren't aware of cutting the bitrate saved it.
Right.
No, I went, but I don't really do many.
It's more for when I'm out and about,
Yeah, that's yeah. I've just bought a DJI Osmos 360 that I'm playing about with at the moment. So.
Yeah. At some point, I'm gonna call it down in a sec. But at some point, you have to, when it's safe to do so for you, perhaps give us a tour of your setup or something. Yeah, because I'm interested to see, it's exactly what your processor and everything else is what your setup's like inside. Because I know someone like you will have it tidy as hell, won't you?
Oh well. This time I built it is. But the time before, because I build all my own PCs as well. The time before, it was like throw it all in and.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really?
I mean, the cables at the back of this desk is unbelievable. It's just.
Oh mate, I know.
A mess. It's like you could go and untangle them all, and I go to bed, come back, and it's like some little fairy's been round and tangled them all up again.
You're a man after my own art, mate. I have to explain this to other people, and I'm like, unless you're a gamer or a computer enthusiast, you won't understand the cables involved.
It's mental. It is.
Yeah, it is so true.
Absolutely mental.
And it's because it's worse for me because I've got the computer stuff, like you said, and then stuff for an extra computer in the bedroom, and then obviously I'm doing the podcast as well. So I've got equipment everywhere. It just drives me crazy. But anyway,
Yeah,
Captain,
yeah.
thank you for coming on today. And I do appreciate you imparting your knowledge as well. And I am going to have another look at OBS. You know, it's not hot air. I will be having another look at it.
If people are struggling with financial reasons to, if StreamYard's charging you, I don't know, 30 quid a month or whatever, you can use these things free if you just use OBS, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And it saves people a lot of money, especially when you're first starting out with this sort of thing, because I know exactly, I've been there, done that, and I know exactly what the sort of...
And like I say, the thing is, the last time, when we had my 20k channel, I had money to get me started. This time, I don't. It really has got to be more winning it by the content than it is by the equipment, if you get what I'm saying.
I mean, that's another thing as well. YouTube takes 30% of any donations you get anyway, so you're better off setting some up. And the ad revenue, I think it used to be, just still don't exactly know what it is. It used to be about £4 for every 1,000 or something like that. It didn't used to be very big at all.
There was someone posted something in America the other day. It was lower than I remembered it. It was 384,000 views in I think it was a week or a day. Got them $360, which was lower than I thought.
Yeah, Twitch has always been the best thing.
Is it really?
Me. Yeah, financially, yeah. I make more money through Twitch than I do YouTube.
And is Twitch, is there any issue getting the money, or is it crypto, or is it...
No. It's just paid into... is that one paid into... do you know, a PayPal account, that one is, I think.
Okay. That's interesting to know.
I have loads of different accounts, you see, so transfers from one to another and stuff like that.
What about Discord?
Discord? I've got Discord, yeah. I don't pay that. That's just free.
Yeah, no, I just wondered what it was like. A lot of people always try and get me to go there, and bear in mind, I'm for non-gaming purposes, and I never really fancied it for that,
It's just a chat room, basically.
Yeah.
If you buy the membership, let's say, you can post higher resolution videos or whatever. But
okay.
It's just places where you can have sort of private chat or whatever. I've got one. That's AI bots that run all that, to be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough.
So anybody says certain words or something like that, it just mutes it or kicks them or whatever.
That's easier than all messing back.
Yeah. I mean, there's another thing. If you to make a good decent video for YouTube, thumbnails and stuff like that, you could look at about 4 hours. Definitely.
Yes.
So, and then I buy music rights from a certain company as well. I can play them in my streams.
Mm-hmm.
Also, then I've got a different program that I use that I have to pay for making thumbnails. And stuff like that. So all this costs money, and then when you get real big, then you just pay somebody else to do it.
That's right. Exactly. And this is the other thing that me and Vin were talking about. Not in a poor us kind of way, because we've chosen to do it, but people will see the end result, and people have always said to me, all you've got to do is point the camera and shoot. They don't realise the amount.
No, it's not. I mean, I find it difficult making videos. So I can go on, I can stream, and I can talk to chat. In fact, I've got AI that reads it every time somebody types it. It reads it in my ear, so I don't even have to read the screen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, gets annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But it reads it, so I don't even have to read the chat, but I know what's going off in there, sort of thing. If you know what I mean. That's something you can set up through that streamer bot that I told you about. You want to look at that seriously?
Okay. Yeah, I've got that. I've got that ready to
go. Then what was I going to say? I've lost chain of thought now. But well, then when it comes to, I could record something. So record a video, go and do the step by step in physically, with the keyboard and mouse and get whatever. Then when it comes to talking through it, I struggle like mad.
Is that? Yeah. Is that? In what way? Is it confidence or something else?
I don't know. It's just like, It's like
Mental
I
block.
always say I was never taught English. I was always taught slang.
Right.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll say things and I think, I shouldn't have said that, or I'll go,
Right.
a lot sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
I hate it when I do it, mate.
yeah, so swearing's not a problem because I was in radio communication, so I weren't allowed to swear in there anyway. So I can like switch that on and off depending on what I'm doing, sort of thing.
I never used to swear on it I did used to swear, but not as much. And I've been trying to knock it down a little bit recently. But it's also that I had stopped it. I started taking breaths in every time I was going to do it. But it really irritates me when I hear myself do that. But I tend to find with me, I don't have a problem talking, partly because I've had these cameras in my face since I was a kid, but partly as well because I'm so, with what we do, I think it's such high passion. A lot of the time with some of the stories we cover, I think you've got so much you're trying to get out that by the time that microphone's in front of you, you're trying to get it out quick enough. Do you know what I mean? To get it off your head before you forget anything. So I think it comes out easier. Whereas when I'm doing more laid back things, like today, when we first started off today, I find it more difficult to preload my thoughts up, you know?
Yeah. I understand what you mean. Yeah. And for me, it's, I'm a little bit dyslexic anyway, but when it comes to, if I were doing this sort of thing that you're doing, and like when it comes to like reading news and stuff like that, I could read it, but I have to do it in my own sort of terms and time sort of thing.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to broadcast that to somebody, it's different, if you know what I mean. So sometimes you could read a sentence, and I've read a word wrong, and then have to go back and read it again to understand what it meant, if you know what I mean.
And that's it. And that's what happens. See, like with me, with it, like say reading the chat wrong or whatever else. It's like my mind's still thinking, what temperature's my CPU at? It's still thinking, are we coming out okay on here?
The best thing you can do anything like that is just forget it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So just forget that. It is what it is. I mean, the worst thing as well is don't ever mention your own health conditions or anything like that, because it's just get away from it, because people are like, they'll come on and they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, not this again. I'm off.
No, fair enough.
Believe it or not.
No, fair enough.
Tried it before. I've been through loads of, when I broke my back, I was streaming and I was like, oh yeah, I broke my back. I can hardly do this and that. You start talking stuff like that. You just see it. Your view count just goes down. Nobody's interested.
No, you're right.
Nobody really gives a shit, really.
I think what it is you feel like you owe people an explanation, and they actually don't want that explanation. They just want you to do the next video.
Yeah, because you can imagine how depressing it is when, you know, say if they watch you for an hour or two, then they flick to somebody else and watch them, and they're doing the same thing. For God's sake.
Yeah.
You know,
and I must admit, that was the trick that used to happen, regardless of how I felt. I always used to open up my podcast the same way. So, no, I would agree with that. I think that's quite a...
Well, another thing that you can do as well is what I used to do as well is I used to sometimes act really, really thick and stupid. And then people would show the true colours of what they really like.
Yeah. I always say to people all the time, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm not smart. And I would reinforce that idea so that the people who thought they were the smartest people in the room could speak.
Well, sometimes it shows, so like in your chat, or they're going to be your best mate, or in Discord or whatever. So, for instance, I've got obviously a lot of good friends, and they send me all sorts. They know my personal address, you know, and they send me stuff for the studio or whatever. They'll say, oh, I'll 3D print you that or whatever. And but the people I've known for a long time, and then I'll get other people and they're like, oh, I'd send you this. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it, mate. I'll sort it. Because I know from previous conversations that they've said or what they've spoke, I won't give them my address.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
You're right not to.
Even down to moderators before, I've had where they've been really good moderators for a long time. And then all of a sudden it's like a switch is clicked and they decide they're going to be some sort of power freak.
I know. What is it with that? And that is an internet-wide thing, whether it's gaming communities, whether it's Facebook groups, it doesn't matter where it is, people just suddenly turn. And I don't even know how to explain that one, mate. It's internet-wide. But there is a thing like that where you can have moderators, people I've known who will have watched my show for 7 years, who suddenly, out of nowhere, just get this venom out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it before where, you know, obviously I've been streaming and something, one of them has come out with something and I'm like, really, dude? But then I've took them to like one side in Discord and I'm like, what was that all about? And they're like, oh, it just come across wrong. And sometimes it does. It just comes across the chat wrong, or you read it in the wrong vibes, because you can't read something how somebody might be thinking or saying it feeling-wise, if you know what I mean. And two things can read different as well. So
got to be very careful with text, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
Right, fella, I think I'm going to wind it up, only because we've been going about 2 hours, 10 minutes now, but I've really enjoyed having the chat with you. It's nice for me to be able to talk to you about some technical stuff and get away from some of the stuff that I'm always doing. So it's a nice change for me.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with and I keep saying this to a few people when I go on the panels and stuff. Honestly, I mean, Lee Anderson's my MP, so that'll give you a rough idea where I am. And we don't have half the trouble that a lot of people have. Half of it. So, and also, Lee Anderson, he drinks in the local pubs around here with the lads. Because he don't have security, anything like that. He just walks the streets normal, like, because what he thinks is what everybody else thinks around here.
See, it sounds like you're in quite a lucky place. I mean, it's how this place used to be where I am now, but that's gone. All of that is gone. And I never would have believed it would have gone 4 years ago, but it's changed in 4 years. Just 4 years.
I just don't think it's reached us yet.
You're right.
You're
probably right.
That's the only thing. I mean, a lot of people that I talk to, because I talk to a hell of a lot of people out and about. I fly drones and stuff like that, so I always get called an auditor. A lot of people come up to me and stuff like that, and they're like, "Are you an auditor?" And then we'll get talking, and I'm like, you know, I ask them all sorts of different questions, like migrants. And ask them, like, you know, where do you get your news from? Hardly any of them say YouTube, you know. Hardly any of them. They're like, YouTube, you're on YouTube or whatever.
Nobody would admit it anyway.
Well, I don't think, I don't think it's so much as admitting it. It's, you know, the younger generation are different to sort of middle-aged now. So say if you're like 30 to 60 odd sort of thing, a lot of, maybe sort of 35 to 60 sort of thing. A lot of people just go in and flick the TV on at night because they can't be arsed with it else. They've done that much at work.
Yeah.
And they can't be bothered.
Yeah. And there's also people that will watch both. So I know people that will sit there with a Sky News window open, a YouTube window open, and 3 others, you know, which I suppose is another way of doing things. And so there's a lot of different ways of doing it now. But was it you said, or someone said there's still 8 million people at least doing the TV license, so there's definitely people still watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I pay for a TV license. I do. That's purely because of my wife. She got scared. It was about we never used to pay for a TV license. TV bloke come to the house, knocked on the door. I said to him, he says, "Can I come in?" I says, "Yeah, but you're going to take your shoes off because I've got clean carpets." He's like, "I'm not taking my shoes off." I'm like, "Mate, you're not coming in then." Simple as that. Nobody walks in my house with the shoes on.
Yeah, fair play.
End of. Right? And we got took to court for it. So...
You got what?
Yeah, we got took to court for it because basically the chap lied. He said he came in the house and he seen us watching blah 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 TV, blah blah program, which is complete lie because I've got CCTV everywhere that records audio as well. So, and we went to court and the judge kicked it out. The judge says you won't be coming in my house neither if you got you know the bloke. Because I says to the judge, well, he's lied in his statements. He's made loads of false. I've got CCTV footage with audio on it. You've seen it all. And I'm not very happy about being brought to court for this. I think he should be done. And she turned around to the TV licensing people and the solicitors. And she said, well, where is he? Well, he don't work for us no more. And she says, well, I suggest you get him in court.
Jesus.
So she adjourned it then till the next day. And they had to go and find him and get him in court. And she did him then for contempt of court, for lying in court.
Bloody hell.
Well, I got all the evidence, you see. But what it did, even though we didn't even have a TV aerial or anything like that, it really frightened my wife, that did. And she pays a TV license now. We have arguments about it all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need fucking paying that for. Because we don't even have a TV aerial.
But Jesus Christ, him acting like bloody Russian mafia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, intimidation tactics.
Yeah, but it worked because it frightened her.
Yeah.
In some sort of way, although we got away with it. I say got away with it in court. Although he got kicked out of court and everything.
It still had that psychological impact.
Yeah, and it took a lot of organising to fight it properly as well.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
and a lot of stress.
Yeah, a lot of organising, a lot of stress and stuff like that. So the wife was like, "Oh, I'm just paying." It was £100 at the time. I think about 30 quid at the time. Well, I'm not going through all that again. We'll just pay the fucking But so we had a bit of a ding dong about it or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, just get on with it."
Do you know what though? I could sort of understand the point because it's just like, oh, don't need that, you know. Yeah, I get it from both sides, you know. I do get it from both sides, but it's not with me. I mean, they've tried to keep harassing me, and I'm like, you can come in anytime. I've shown you before. I'm not interested in. I've told them not interested in your shite that you provide over the airwaves. I'm not interested in none of it. I don't want to watch your adverts that make me go insane when I try and watch them. I really don't use it. If I want something, I'll go and buy for it. If it's a live event, I'll watch it when it's not live. You know.
All I can say to anybody that if you ever experience that is record, because that's what saved me. I was lucky. I got CCTV up, and all my CCTV records audio as well. So. Obviously, there was a conversation between me and that guy saying, you got to take your shoes off. I've got clean carpets. And he's like, I'm not doing that. I don't have to. But fair enough, then mate, go. So that got shown in court. But it could have been a different story if it weren't recorded, if you know what I mean.
What made him think that he could speak to you like that and that you would just back down and let him come and walk all over your carpet like that? What on earth?
I think what his problem was is he didn't realise he was being recorded. Because at the time, my CCTV was in... I got ivy growing up the ass, and the CCTV camera was sort of buried in the ivy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For two reasons.
He shouldn't have needed that. What I mean is he shouldn't have needed that as an incentive to not behave that way. That was disgusting.
That's what I say. He didn't realise he were being recorded, and he thought he could just come and bully us.
Scumbag.
Yeah. So, but and lucky enough, my CCTV cameras are actually at head height. So the audio was no problem, and the facial recognition was no problem, and stuff like that. So,
like you said, it's lucky you got all that though, because that could easily have turned. Thanks to everybody in chat. I just see you there. You were right. That could have easily turned into a situation against you had you not have got all that evidence.
Yeah, and the CCTV that I installed was nothing to do with security of the property or anything like that. The reason that was installed originally, and the reason is because I trained German Shepherds. So, when I got when there was patrol in the garden and stuff like that, I used to have it up on the big monitor and stuff, so I could see what triggers them and what don't.
I do same thing with mine.
So, I could see what was going off and stuff like that with the dogs. That was the only reason that I had them put in.
Yeah,
it's purely for the training purposes of the dogs. I mean, my dog's trained in drugs, money, everything.
Oh right! Oh wow!
Yeah, he's a celebrity local.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Won competitions and all sorts.
Oh, that's cool.
But he's trained like that because purely because just to keep him mentally right. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
So
no, I get that.
Because
people say to me, why do I train my dog in certain things? And it's like enrichment to keep her thinking and learning, and you know.
Yeah, and times many. My dog is never on the lead ever. He'll walk at my hip, side of my leg, constantly until I tell him he can go somewhere.
Same with me.
People will say to me, "I wish my dog could do that. Can you train my dog how to do that?" I'll be like, "No." And they're like, "What?" I was like, "If a cat run across front of my dog now, my dog would not even look at it twice."
Right.
Because it's the way it's been trained and stuff like that.
You know what though?
If I trained your dog to do that and a cat run over and then it got run over on middle of the road because it bolted over the road, then I'd feel guilty.
Yeah. Also, I get annoyed with people because I'll be honest with you, like the dog I've had dogs around me my whole life, but the dog I've got with me at the moment is my first dog I've trained, and she doesn't need to be on the lead. She's really, really good with me, everything else. And then I get people say, oh, I wish my dog did that. And I think, this is the first dog I've ever trained. How hard have you actually tried?
It literally takes 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night.
Right.
That's all it takes.
Nothing that I've done with her has been a big effort in terms of her learning it. It's just been me learning how to teach her, and then having a bit of patience. Most things are done in a couple of days.
You know, me and my wife will have like little, I say, discussions, not arguments and stuff. She'll stand there talking, reeling off conversations to the dog, and I'm like, "You're fucking stupid." I said, "What?" I said, "That dog don't even understand English. You're just confusing it." He knows what I mean. No, he don't. And do you know when he was younger, and I was he's proper in full training and stuff like that, a lot of people, like family members, especially on the wife's side, used to get annoyed with me. And because I'd take the dog to their property or whatever, and I'd make him sit down and lie at the side of me. I wouldn't let them stroke him to nothing.
Nah,
until I told the dog he could go.
Good
right?
planning, though.
And they actually came and like apologized to me months later. And it was like, now I realise why he did it. Because that dog goes anywhere. It goes absolutely anywhere.
Exactly.
And he'll be respectful anywhere as well. So I could go and visit anybody and that dog would lay down if I tell it to lay down, it not move till I tell him to move.
Yeah. And this thing they'll want to do it for you. So it's it's so easy to do. So that's why I do get frustrated when people say, "Oh, you know, I wish mine would do that." I think, well, have you really tried?
I get that all the time. I mean, my dog gets to go everywhere with me.
Yeah.
Because it's also beneficial to the dog as well. So because we decide I'm going out with the wife and the thing, I can take the dog because I know he's going to be brilliant.
Right.
So the dog's going to enjoy it or whatever as well. He's not cooped up at home on his own. And that's because he's learnt a lot of manners and he's well behaved. So
it's like there's places where I am now where you can actually take your dog into a breakfast place, have a breakfast. Well, that's only good if your dog's behaved. And with her, it's been great. They actually get you a little bit of a bowl of food for the dog as well now, you know. So you take her up and do things like that with her, and it's been brilliant. But I'll be honest with you, it's not so much that I'm such a great dog trainer. She's just been so easy to work with, you know.
Yeah, I'm basically self-taught myself by YouTube, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
By YouTube.
Cool.
So that's what I did. I just wanted this dog right. I wanted him to be part of the family, and I wanted him to be able to come anywhere and everywhere with us, rather than him being locked up in the kitchen all day or whatever.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice, and that's I'm exactly with you. That's what I wanted with my dog as well, so that it wasn't a case of, oh, I've got a dog, now I'm going down the road without her, now I'm going out without her. No, the whole idea was that when I go out, if it's possible, she comes out with me. Even if I go and get something out of the cupboard outside, because I've got a cupboard that's in the garden out the back. Mm-hmm. Even if I go out there, she comes out with me. Even though it's more of a pain in the ass to do than not, I still let her come out with me. I let her come everywhere with me, you know?
Yeah. Mine can go anywhere. Goes in the shop, goes everywhere with me. Everybody knows him, and he's 50 kg German Shepherd, like, you know what I mean. So it's but everybody loves him. Most dogs like him. There's certain dogs, obviously, nobody gets on with everybody all the time. So there's certain dogs I'd be like, keep it away from or whatever.
But you wouldn't be without him now, though, mate. That's the thing, isn't it? You get really attached when they're like this.
Oh, it cost me thousands.
Yeah.
Because he's got medical problems, so he has to have steroids and stuff like that, and all sorts. So he has to be raw fed. He can't have.
How old is he?
He's 7 now.
7. Oh, it's not too bad an age.
He bought him. Somebody bought him for Christmas.
Yeah.
And when he was a pup, so they bought him for Christmas. Couldn't cope with him or whatever. There was nothing wrong with the dog, actually. He was just that puppies are puppies, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, they realised they couldn't cope with it or whatever. Thought it were a good idea at the time for them, and then so we just bought it off him.
At least it went to you, which is good. Which is ended up being the best thing, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where he is now. He's probably laid in Norway or something. because he chooses to do that because of the tiled flooring, like, you know. So
yeah. No, it's like to do this podcast is the only day of the week where I don't have my dog for a couple of hours, and I must admit, like, I'm all right at the moment, but as I'm thinking about coming off the podcast, I already miss her. It's crazy. There's so many things you'd think I'd be thinking about doing when I've got the opportunity, but I can't wait to get her back, to be honest. But anyway, mate, I'm gonna
I'll let you get off.
We're at 2 hours 25. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for chat, for sticking on, for anybody that's come on today. Sorry if anybody I missed. Captain, we're not going to advertise your channel, are we? No.
No, the Captain Ginner Show one's all right, but I don't tell over the gaming one because I'm not getting it mixed up, confused, and stuff like that. Just
totally understand. But Captain Ginner's okay because I thought the other day, shit, should I not be saying this out loud?
I've got Captain Ginner and Captain Ginner Show, so I have got two. So the gaming one don't go nowhere. I don't. One day somebody will find me, but
so that happens, you're safe.
Yeah. Well, I don't mix them. It's not worth it.
That's a good idea, mate. It's a good idea. It's even with me, I've kept certain accounts separate and that because otherwise, yeah, you know what happens.
It's a cancel culture, you see.
Yeah, exactly. I really do appreciate you coming on with me today, and also as well taking time out to share, because I always feel like it's me sharing my technical knowledge with people. So I do appreciate you sharing yours with me. It's helpful. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, then, mate. No problem. Catch you later.
Take it easy. Take care, everybody. Bye. I'm Star Fury. This is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now. Sorry, we didn't go through the political topics, but it was actually nice to go through some different topics. I also get to know Captain. Captain, it's great to have you on, mate. It was great to actually have that conversation with you rather than the one that I started with you last time. So Tom's Generation X, which is, again, the idea being, I'm sorry about the signal today, we will work on this. But Tom's Generation X, the idea being to have you guys on to do interviews. That's what this particular show is for. Like I say, I will be working on this. It seems to me as I'm watching it on screen like it's rubber banding, like it's streaming, and then it's almost like it's either running out of memory or running out of bandwidth. So I'm going to have a play around, but ultimately I do think that the Captain might be right about OBS, because at least I can control the bit rates within that. But for the time being, we work with what we have and we do the best that we can do. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News, Tom Generation X. I'm calling it a day for now.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything. That's my boy! Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia!
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation X. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation X.
Commander Worf. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rasco.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.